It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
Right, here we go. One of the quarterfinals now, the 2023 CNZ National Singles, and the man who won it, I think it was 2016 this man won it. I'm just going to go and refer back to the book because I know he was a nationals champion in this discipline relatively recently, so let me not make a fool out of myself. This is Steve Denton I'm talking about, who has won the toss and elected to break. Yeah, 2016 at Manarowa Cosmopolitan Club, Steve was the victor, and he has recently switched to using the shark rack. Steve Denton and Kerry Wirtz won the pairs at Upper Hutt in 2017. So there's the two titles that he has at this level, one pairs, one singles. And Corey yet to win a title, but you feel the way that he tracks, if he just gets a few things go his way, he's not far off. Just missed that ball there, but by and large he's got a lovely stroke. He's a very level-headed player. He's one of those guys that you can never sleep on because he comes up and bites you. Bit of alcoholic treat, is it there, John? I've just got.
Thanks, Peter.
Just click on the far mic so that you can speak to the audience.
I actually prefer position 2 because I've got the screen right in front of me.
Yeah, the only problem I had was where you were sitting is the fact that the microphone was kind of in my way,
Yep.
So I had to move it to the side.
Yep.
Steve just looking to make short work of these. Is on the overs at the moment.
Now, I haven't seen much of Steve today. Have you seen any of his matches, or?
He just squeaked past Mitchell Gourlay,
Okay.
4-3 in the last 64. I'm not entirely sure how he's gone after them, but obviously he's won each game because he's here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he had a real stern test against Mitch.
He's been queuing it good from what you could see.
He has been. It's back to the Steve of old, really. That
Old Steve.
That's
dangerous.
Steve between 2015 and 2017, who was probably in the discussion for top 3 players in the country back at that point. I did mention that in 2016 and 2017 he won a singles and a pairs title, but 2015 he won just about everything else.
Under the sun.
Yeah, I mean, 2015 was arguably his year, so he's been showing glimpses of that this year, and firstly in Interclub, where he's ended up with a near perfect record, and then in the Super League, with queuing like that, why not? But also in the Super League,
now what are you going to run into the 8 a little bit?
Which he won.
He's unhappy with himself. I don't think that this can hold on the 8. I think he's always going to be sliding underneath it.
There's a possibility he takes it in the corner.
He has to go corner now, right?
Yeah, that's what I would be doing. The only thing is that there's a distance that the cue ball can track sideways, and if it does that, then you don't want to end up near the 7 or the 8.
Oh,
perfect with the cue ball, but it's nothing without a pot.
Yeah. As Paul comes back from the gym, how many push-ups could you do?
I was just on the phone.
At the airplane club, looking at the next airplane coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just clearing up a wee issue there.
Bit of housekeeping. Tidied. John on the vacuum cleaner there, getting rid of that.
First memory of Corey, I'm sure I've mentioned this on commentary a number of times, but for those of you who are new or who haven't heard this, the first memory of Corey I ever had was oh dear.
Oh.
Is the 2006 Nationals at Whangamata. I'm not too sure where he finished in that, but one thing that struck me straight away when I watched him play was just how beautiful his queuing action was. He's got such a smooth, silky follow-through when he queues.
So I did take a picture just quietly of the main event because I was looking at my stables, and quarterfinal 3's Brett versus the winner of Tom Cook and Nick Hinger.
Which is Nick Hinger.
So Nick Hinger won?
Yeah.
So Nick Hinger versus Brett DeFaria in quarterfinal 3, and then Phil Wilkinson, the GOAT, playing Simon in quarterfinal 4. So
Steve's done it too. Would you believe this?
So team
It's all happening in the far corner.
Team PK looking good at the Calcutta so far. Hopefully we don't fall at the final hurdle.
You've also got Healy up against... I'm just trying to see who he's actually playing, but I'm pretty sure you just had a look at that.
So did they just start?
Yeah, I believe they just started.
I've got Bradley down there in the field that I could probably text, so let's try and... Brad... Can we have updates on the Brett Hinger game by you, please? Thanks, Brad.
So John's just calling an audible here.
Calling it audible. I can see from the box. We can see who's sitting around the tables here. So also Bradley can see Simon's game
versus Brendan Ning. Thank you, Charlotte. Sorry, Brad, you're not needed on this occasion, but you're very much wanted.
Healy, Brendan Ning. Yeah, but Brad's sitting down by the scorebooks there, so hopefully he can keep us pretty...
Oh, good shot, Moses. Parts the sea.
Oh.
Cut to finish, and why not Steve
Why
Denton
not Steve
1-0
Denton?
ahead.
I don't know if my audible's been heard or it's just gone running.
So then I hope you've got
I've got a second audible. We'll go to the other wide receiver.
Louis.
No, it's Lewis.
Oh, okay, Lewis, Keown, Fletcher.
Then you get score updates on those.
Try to patch us through
tables,
some score updates as they
please.
happen, just
Yeah.
so those of you who want them, and I know you all will.
Oh, audibles received.
So nothing off the break there from Corey, so Steve will immediately get a chance to mop these up and make it 2 quick frames. Although he's going to face a more stern task on this occasion with that cluster of balls over there on the right hand side of the table. He's going to have to require some moving and some shaking to get things going.
It's like the 11's yuck. The 12 probably can move the 10, but then the 10's yuck.
He's just over queued on the 15.
So Brett and Simon are up 1-0.
Okay.
My audible's in play, so
Brett's against Nick Hinger and Simon is against Phil Wilkinson.
yeah, so big shout out to Lewis down there for helping us out.
What a last date we've got though.
Great last date.
It's a brilliant last date.
Has he?
Not. He was wearing that shirt today, but he was wearing his. Oh no, you might be right, Mr. Southwest. I think
He's gone back to the.
he was wearing the 2017 Upper Hutt tournament shirt earlier on in the day, I believe. So I think you might be dead right there, Greg.
Oh, and we've got further updates. Steve's up 1 and Brendan Ning's up 1.
Oh,
Man, we've got to keep this
Okay.
guy on.
oh, brilliant. So
I think he can see all the scorecards down there. So
Craig and Naomi DeFaria, who's of course is BJ's mum and dad.
Mum and Dad, yeah. So
Or
BJ,
dad and mum, sorry.
BJ, not only me cheering for BJ at the moment. So Team BJ at home as well.
Oh, you got money on him, don't you?
Yep.
Okay. It's good for some. So the 12 was the problem here. The 11 does
11
go.
pots here. You're going to slide out and just 12 doesn't pot, does it? We don't have an angle to.
Well, it does double though, and I'm just wondering
he's
if he was
gonna
going to
take
try
double
and draw it.
Double now and then just come out for the 11. Yeah, buddy.
For someone who says he doesn't like doubles, and
yeah.
he said this earlier on to me, he got one to start off the clearance that got him that 4-3 win against Mitch. It was 3 each, had a double to start with, made it, and then cleared the frame.
This is really tight.
And here
And with
again,
the nap here, like I think he knows that,
It's
so
another
he's
double.
doubling down on the.
not this time though, but you see what the thing was though. All he had to do
Shot.
was pot the 11 and he was on the
I
8.
still don't think that 11 pots there past that 6. I think that angle there in the net, like that near jaw, is just massive.
It is, but you can put a trace of right on it so that it kicks the
Throws
ball
it
to
left.
the left.
Yeah.
So Corey here with a pretty good looking table to be fair, just really the 6 is the problem. It was interesting to see him play the 2 first, but I'm guessing that's because of the safety element.
Was
Got
this
that over far enough.
was this
so
just a straight safety and he actually wasn't going for the pot?
it was a shot to nothing. If he gets the pot, then
Got the
he's got a
7.
whole bunch of options. But if he doesn't, then the hope is that the 10 isn't on. So I think the 10 might be on, which is unfortunate.
Does Steve just roll up onto the 11, kick it on top of the 6 and bury the white?
Possibly, but that's the problem with that is it may put the 6 into play. If you put the 6 into play and leave Corey a decent starter, then he's got a good opportunity to work back around for them. So you
I mean,
don't want
if
to
he-
give him any sort of chance to do that because
got
he's a
the
good
8.
ball manipulator.
He's got the 8 there, so he might just try and get that little dribbly 11 shot.
No, he's going for this. played it as a drag shot.
I mean
with
this
a bit
one.
of side.
I mean this shot, because the 8's right there. So now he just spreads this with the right, and then has the 8.
That's what he's got Ronnie over to look at. Got the pot, so
Yeah.
shouldn't be too difficult to cue. And down it goes. So pretty quickly, Steve Denton 2-0 ahead in this quarterfinal. I think Corey was a trace unlucky that he still left that ball on, because I think the shot that he played was the right one, because he was still looking to be aggressive and take a hard ball, and if he pots it then everything else is looking okay, but if he doesn't pot it then odds are that you're going to get the safety. It's just that the odds on this occasion were against him. So I do like the ideas that he's got.
Yep.
It's just the fact that it didn't quite work, and now this might throw his game plan further into disarray.
So the flight semis are also on at the moment.
Oh, cool.
So you've got Jordan and Shannon playing on 17, 22, and I'm not sure who Cody Turner's playing on 20.
Alright, so
Well,
got a bit of flight action as well at the same time. That's a massive break from
Bigs.
Steve.
Look at all those bigs going.
Oh yeah, for your life.
Looks like he's playing Avon.
Oh yeah, okay, so Cody versus Avon
Avon.
Placid for one of the semi-finals in the flight,
And Shannon
and Shannon Swain versus Jordan Maihei in the other one. Try to get on the 12 here, but can't quite. I think that jaw cuts off the 14, potentially, although Steve's pretty quickly down onto it.
No.
So
No.
now he's just
Quickly back
receiving the bad news.
So
Thank you, Charlotte.
Is that Brendan Ning?
Yeah. Both of those guys are pretty quick players as well, so we could have some
Yeah, it's
games that are over in a
It's
hurry.
a firecracker of a game, that one. Healy versus Brendan.
Oh yeah, they're both.
No safeties, all pots.
Yeah, they're both purely instinct players, and they're both two of the best at it. Imagine if that game goes to 9 frames. It'd still be a quick game. It'd be fitting though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Slightly overran this, but I don't think he really had a choice.
Yeah, it's
For
just-
me, I don't think
it's
he
just
was
the
ever
angle.
going to be the right side of this ball.
6 is quite big here.
It is, and so is the 3. Depending on which line he chooses, if he chooses the wider line to the right, then the 4 becomes a problem.
Yeah, nice.
Good use of the ball that was on the table there. He didn't have to do anything extravagant, just use what's there.
Right, one good pot, Stevie. Bit of wind rustles up there, so he takes his time.
He's going to play this as a drag shot
Drag
by the
shot?
look of it. And not this time. And I tell you what, that plants 7 onto the one onto the 7
1
looks
7,
like it
does
might
it go?
sneak in there. I think it does. Left pocket there.
Don't
That-
think it does.
Yeah, that
Yeah, it's
angle's not the greatest
Yeah.
for Corey's point of view there.
Yeah, not
If there is a shot there though, he'll find it.
yeah. Well, he might try and just get down from here on the 5, and then if you're like pretty much behind the 1, you can control where the 7's going.
Unlucky, but he has at least made the 1 on in the opposite pocket.
Yep. So now if he can get onto the 1, the 7 will pot, I reckon.
I think the 7 pots past the 12 now because he's actually pushed it nearer the rail.
Yeah.
The angle is
Yeah.
now a lot better for that off the back of the 12.
So do you just take the double here and
Be on the 1.
be on the 1?
Double be on the 1. He tried to open
Tried to
it
move
up
it again.
But that's
Cool.
okay because now we can take the 2, the 6, and then come back for the 1.
The 1, yep. Making the 8 a little bit ugly.
He's decided to go with the sword here rather than the feather.
Well, it's probably sword or hammer, one of the two.
Yep. Or patu,
Yep.
depending on
No,
which
he didn't,
ethnicity you are.
he didn't like your idea.
Playing for the 1 now.
Okay.
Yes. So he's going rail. Okay. Black and the 2 near the same rail, so he's just going to try to leave himself just off straight on the 2
Off straight,
here.
yeah, and buff it and come
And same
up
shot on the
table.
8.
Anywhere on the rail there, I think he'll just get enough angle to play off the 12 and come off the rail and out for the 2. So one good shot here to get position. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much spot on there. So if he leaves himself, he might even screw this back just a trace to leave himself roughly this shot or slightly straighter on the 2 and take his medicine and take the long ball.
Not sure he's...
He might even just do a big hoofy screw back here.
Oh, okay. No,
Uh-oh.
this works though, because now he's got that. He'll just lay this up and
Yeah.
leave the white in the D.
Yeah, it's good with the 12 being there. He's actually manipulated that quite nicely to leave the 12 safe.
That was a result on that pot, I think.
Oh, every
Uh-oh.
roll's a loser
Uh-oh.
there. I think he's just overplayed his hand there.
Yeah, he just needed to play safe.
He just needed to play at pocket weight or just above.
Yep.
Make sure that you either drop it or
In
you
or
leave
over.
it there.
Because you were always leaving the... If you nicked it towards that top right, you were always leaving the white towards the middle. And so the 2 was basically blocking the double there. So just leaving Steve only the reverse double.
Well, you don't leave this cut either. I've seen Steve. He nailed one of these against me in Interclub. Cut very, very similar to this.
He's looking to see if he can leave it safe here, but I don't think he can.
If he
just
puts
have-
it straight and bulk, he can.
Unless he tries to play this up over the 2.
Oh, he's using the fact that he's in the lead as an advantage here. Because he
Well, I
knows
think-
Corey has to make the running.
Well, Corey now has to go like 4 rails to get position on going to the top right.
And that's the other
4 or
thing.
5
You
4
don't
or
just
5
make the
rails.
pot. You have to also get the position.
And Corey going, nah, I don't want any of that as well.
I like this play. I like
He's-
it because he's putting it back on Steve now. He's forcing Steve to make a shot. Because the cue ball's running towards the 2 if you cut 12 in the bottom left. And if you go bottom right, you need to watch that you A, get it right, and B, don't go in off.
I think you just roll this back up to the top right.
Yeah, play the double again, you reckon, and leave
Just
the
leave
cue
the
ball
ball
safe
on the-
near the
on the-
top rail.
On the bottom rail, under the 2. So he only has that like
By
punchy
top rail, I mean the one
Closest-
near the black spot.
closest to us, yeah. He might just pop this though.
It's looking like the double from here at least.
Yeah, you just don't want to leave it.
The weight's beautiful.
Oh, that's curling. It's lovely.
That's a great shot. So
And he
now
leaves
he's
him a
almost...
funky angle on the 2, so it's not easy, and you're always going up table here with the reverse.
Doubling it into the middle by the look of it. He wants to try and keep the cue ball somewhere
Yeah.
around that zone.
Make it
Oh, good effort, but no, because
Yeah.
there's a big hole with
big.
the 12 there.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying.
3-1 to Brendan against Healy. So that game is going in
Going
an
off like
absolute rate of knots.
Firecracker.
So-
Simon 2-0 up, and Nick Hinger 2-1 up. So-
With Brett DeFaria, so there you've got all your results that you would want. That might be
Come
a
on,
good
Brett.
nudge on the 2, and the reason why is because if that goes much further past the double isn't on,
Yep.
the double's very much on here. And he can
There
play
he-
it,
He just walks away.
so the cue ball lends up long on the 2, but he doesn't need it
Doesn't
because he
even need
does
it.
pot it.
Stone Cold just looking at it roll into the pocket as he.
I love that steer. I
as he
absolutely love that steer. For a guy who's usually so humble
Yeah.
and so gentle, that was a steer of death.
Just watching it
Get
roll
in.
in, watching it roll in, and then casually picks out the balls out of the pocket and puts them on the table.
You know, he's feeling it. He's fully locked in here, dialed into the max. So if Corey's got a way back, it's got to be right here and now, because I'm thinking 4-0 at this stage is all but game over for the
you
guy
don't
that
wanna-
Steve's playing as well as he is.
You don't want to drop another frame here. You need to fight back with a couple.
That is not helpful.
Oh,
That is suboptimal.
what went bottom right?
Doesn't matter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it was an over.
An over.
Well, if you're wanting to make a list of things you didn't want, that would probably
Probably
be
at the top.
top of the tray.
Yep.
So
Closely behind a dry break.
yeah, or dry break, at least you play it from where it lies. But on this occasion, you can take the two balls that are outliers and then make your way back up table here. Brendan versus Healy. Brendan is currently 3-1 up. Mikey.
Charlotte.
Charlotte Coleman there with the assist on that. Thank you very much, Charlotte. Those of you who don't know
listening
who...
to us in the hall with headphones, or
She could be. She could be double tasking it.
yeah.
Charlotte, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is Jojo's sister-in-law. She's married to Jojo's brother Dan. So she's very much active in the pool community here at Cashmere.
John, how did you get on the comp?
It's a bit of a tragic story, that actually. As soon as I said that, he retracted it. But
Yeah.
I got to the last 64 undervalued S. Got beaten by Kiri Michaelides 4-3. It was a shame because I was absolutely feeling it too. I was playing real well, and had it just been for about 10 mil either way on a couple of shots, I would have beaten him. But I mean, sometimes you get those, sometimes you don't.
Yep.
Oh, you're in Dunedin. Okay, so where are you getting score updates from?
Dan, by Dan. DC must be in the field.
You Dan Coleman or Dan Cole? I'm guessing Dan Coleman. You'd probably have more of a reason to be talking to him rather than Daniel Cole. Oh dear. Tried to just flick the 13 on the way through. Tried to take it out for dinner and a date, but it stood him up.
Stood him up. There's a big.
Yeah, and he played well too. He got a bit of rash luck earlier on in our game, but then he got it back a little bit when I got snookered on the 8 in the last frame, and then the frame before that when the table conspired against me slightly. It's just swung at nothing but air there. That's going to be a combo to Corey.
Right, how do you deal with this, Corey?
Well, you're looking at the 7, but at what stage are you really wanting to remove that? I think the 1 and the 5's the better bet here. Get those two sorted out.
Yep.
We'll just sort one of them, and then the other one's fine.
Do you like the look of that 7-2 a bit later on? How do you deal with that 7?
Well, you could potentially play the 10. I'm just looking left field here. If you play the 10 and run into the 13 or the 7, split those up,
And then have
that's
the 1.
one opportunity.
And then have the 1 there? Is that what you're thinking?
It's going for a drawback of some sort here, so obviously the 5 must be on. Maybe he's going to use the 1 to do that same thing. He's try to leave the 1 parked somewhere in the vicinity and then use that as a potential breakout. going to take 4 because it's all that can link to the 3, and now they use
Now
the
does he
3 to
stun?
do the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, so now he's aiming for the 13.
Oh, just like Steve, he's come up dry. Don't think the one's on either, unless you're willing to risk it all and try to cut it in the corner.
Is he playing the double here?
He's trying to pop away at it, I reckon. It's actually a good shot because the 13's not on, he's only left him the 10. If he can roll that 10 over the pocket, and providing he doesn't leave Corey snookered, then he's very much in the ascendancy in this frame.
Funny enough too, he's left himself the same carom that was there when the 2 was there. So now he can't leave it on the bottom rail.
Yeah. That's all right.
So just causing a bit of separation there. Steve trying to cover the pocket with the 10, but just missing.
The lucky thing for Steve here is this is pretty
Off
much
angle.
dead straight.
Yeah.
So getting the split on 7 is going to be tricky unless he can open it up. You see, he's tried to open it up, and
Moved everything but his ball.
as a result, he's ended up biting off too much and missing it entirely.
Now, it's not crazy if Steve can actually get down under the black spot or back down where he's pointing there for the cut. He might naturally just come down, hopefully over the 1 or under the 1 towards the left hand side of the 7.
I'm just messaging somebody who's asking me who's still in. So
Say, why aren't you watching the stream?
yeah, I mean that's
Touche.
the obvious retort, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So Steve just laying up there and deciding, hey Corey, you can have a go at that. I don't want to try and split the 13.
Yeah, make you do it. Make you take the risk.
Also here with
Thin
the,
enough cut that it might actually be natural though, but that's again assuming that he can cut it that thin.
yeah. Now the other thing that he's got here is the 10s on the top rail now, so he has more than likely the ability to come off the top rail to the bottom rail here to have it if that 13 pots to the middle. So he wants to just be careful here.
Go. That's a bad place for it. Mind you.
You think if he's here, yeah, so I was just pointing to the screen where Steve put his cue that pot's here and he can naturally just come up for the 8. So he wants to be bottom right of the black spot, bottom left of the black spot.
Kind of in between that middle bolt at the bottom of your screen
And the 13.
and the 13. Somewhere on that line, if you can draw a line between them, is perfect. It's not going to get there though. Yeah, it choked itself, didn't it? It's because I think he put a bit of top on it and maybe a little more than he would have liked, and all that spin bites into the rail and it kills the progress of the cue ball.
So he might just kill the white on the bottom rail. I don't see many other shots. You're going to leave Corey the
other
1.
shot that he could play here is he could just dribble into the 13, touch the 7 away and try and leave the cue ball Chinese snookered on the 13 so that he can only play the 1. And 2 reasons for that. One is because
So flicking the white.
the 1's
off
going
the
to be
13.
moved, and 2, it's going to leave him long.
Oh, that's probably better. You put the black there.
Oh, true. But you know what Corey's got here, if he's willing to take the risk, if he can play the 1 off the rail and in behind the black, I mean,
Yep.
it does actually rub in off the black, and also he can maybe cut the 7 and potentially clip the 1 on the way out, but I mean, both of those shots involve risk, but it's just which of those risks you're willing to take at this point.
Or do you just roll the one a bit closer to the 8 and call it a day?
Just kill it.
Yep.
Yeah, that could do that. Depends on how you feel. I mean, how
That
how
way.
well are you queuing? How do you feel?
That way,
How's your luck? How's your luck? Is it in or nah?
that way do you, yeah.
Well, there's your third option. So
Yep.
he's tempting Steve into going for
Going for the double.
a double, and he's almost forcing him to, unless Steve can leave the cue ball all the way at the top right of your screen.
So Brendan Ning up 3-2.
So fight back here from Healy White, but then again he was behind Adam earlier on and managed to win that game.
Yeah.
Might just play this as a double to nothing. He looks like he's doubling towards where the 1 is here. No, he's gone for the cut.
Cut to nothing.
And whilst that isn't perfect, it
not
may
bad.
still be good enough. So Corey's got a bit of a squeeze on with the 7 here, and he's got a
Might try and
thin
cut the
cut
1.
on the 1. I think it's the 1. I think it has to be the 1. If you hit it fine enough, at least you get it over the hole.
Yep.
Other quarters playing. I actually just messaged somebody this, so I can just read directly off my phone there. Corey Freeman versus Steve Denton, which is this game. Brett DeFaria versus Nick Hinger. He made that shot, did he? That's a beauty. He took nothing and made something of it.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing here is he's off angle and next to the cushion.
Wonder if he tries to ram into the 8 here, or has he got enough angle? If you go side view here, sorry Paul, if you go side view here, he might just have enough
Flick it,
angle
flick it.
naturally.
Probably good enough, really. It was very difficult.
A few mil to the left and that would have been perfect, but this does cut.
It does cut.
He's chonked it. He's either chonked it or he's gotten underneath it. Could be good night nurse for the frame.
Yep.
But yeah, just to continue on, you've got Brett DeFaria versus Nick Hinger, Simon Singleton versus Phil Wilkinson, and Healy White versus Brendan Ning. So those are your quarterfinals at this point. Bad boy Benny. And this is to get himself on the hill to nil.
Oh,
Yes, indeed. There was no doubt ever about it.
that was a sweet shot.
It was a sweet shot, and I think the shake of the head was to say, Jesus, you were unlucky there, Corey.
Yeah.
But whilst mine's in, I'll take it. Probably feels like he shouldn't have won that frame, but win the frame he has done. And so he will get the chance to break and clear for the match here, to get himself into a semi-final. Who knocked out Des Wilcox? Sorry, I don't know that Greg.
That would have been Nick. No. Des Wilcox was in 10, so he was top.
I mean, you know more about the stables than I do, John, so
Yeah. Let me just see.
John might be able to give you an answer there, Greg. Right, here it is. That's what's in front of you, Steve. Right,
Would have
got a
been
ball off the
would
break.
have been Brett Faria.
Oh, okay, 2 old mates from New Plymouth. One of them still lives there, one of them now living in Christchurch. And 2 good mates as well.
Simon scores 2-1.
Simon ahead of Phil by the sound of it. Although Simon's just about to break, so Phil must have just won that frame then. 'Cause I think he was 2-0 up.
Yeah, potentially.
Decisions. Looks Looks like the overs. He's just itching to pull the trigger on something. He's got an itchy trigger finger.
He does.
Which ball is he going to line up first? It's the 15. Wants to snap this ever so slightly, but not far enough so it hits the 3. And you can see how it just kills it. The snap / drag type shot. I mean, the snap for the angle and the drag to kill the cue ball.
So Nick's 3-1 up over Brett Faria.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pony's not going well so far. Oh.
Your pony's a little phony, you reckon? Oh dear. Just as I look back towards the screen, Stevie D, what did you just do?
So he just went right into the far side knuckle. Just popped straight out. So Brett's racking here, so I suspect that was that frame that just came through from Bradley. Oh, it was a great break though.
Yeah, then. I'm thinking the 5 here, John. The seven's away from the 5. It's 3-all now between Healy and Brendan.
Ning. So we're still on races to 5, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're going to stay to race to 5.
Okay.
From what I was talking to Tracy before.
So is it? He's on smalls.
He's on smalls and he doesn't
Just
like the
bump
5.
it.
He's just going to try and slow Steve down here, but he's under-cued that. He did not want to leave the 14 on. That could be a death knell.
Simon 3-1.
Yes, I know, Paul. You've got him in the Calcutta. Maybe if you get yourself down here and cheer him on, it might help.
Might help him.
But at the very least, you're watching the stream, so thank you for that. That's a big first ball, so
Yep.
13 to the middle potentially, unless you like the 10 to the 12. And the 10 to the 12's to me, that's a good option because the 12's ugly there. This just becomes the 9 in that case. It would be the ball to really look at.
Do you take the 13 now just to clear it?
You could, but you could also use the 13 to
Later
right
on.
yourself in case you get out of position. But I like the 10 also because you take a pocket if you don't pot it. It's one of those...
Just thinking he probably wants, if he's going to go for the 12, he wants to be a bit straighter.
So you take the 13 just to get rid of it. So he's got a similar sort of shot again on the 10. And the 11's also a possibility from here. But it does appear to be a 10.
Coming into the 5.
That's what he tried to do. And look at the pause he would have received.
Yep, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, that, if it had gone,
It's over.
would have been good night nurse.
9, stop on the 4, 12, 11, 8. Wham
Yeah.
bam, thank you ma'am.
Indeed. So now with Corey, look at what he's got here. This to stay in the match, remember folks. Race to 5 and he's 4-0 down.
Try and make this yuck.
You could try to make this yuck, but unfortunately for Corey that hasn't really worked for him in this game. It's whether you go back to that and you try to make Steve wait a bit longer.
You could potentially get position on the 2 to the middle and then have that 6 to...
Oh dear. Has he cooked his own goose here? You could see what he was trying to do, but he's caught a big fat bit of the 11 on the way through and
Kill the
he's
8.
scuffed it.
You kill it 8. What else do you have?
Or go behind the 11 and the 10. Sit the cue ball
so
near
off
that
the
corner
6.
pocket.
Off
Yeah.
the 6.
He's not doing it though. He might be trying for the triple here. He's going for the triple, but he's caught the jaw.
He's put the 8 ugly.
He's got the 8 ugly. He's also pushed the 9 and the 12 closer together, so all is not lost. Definitely props for the option, though. Steve just sticking the 11 near the pocket to rightfully claim it as his own.
He's closed that door.
He's basically licked the pocket there, putting the 11 there.
Yeah.
No one else wants it.
Still have a chance here.
He does still have a
He can
chance.
still get inside this.
It's one shot, one opportunity. This is your
This is
Eminem 8
your
mile
Eminem.
shot.
This is going to kick the 7 out.
He's got to believe in this.
Good positive stroke. Yeah, stand up.
Have a look at your angle because it's quite
Rail first.
deceptive.
Rail
Unless-
first. Just good stroke.
Got it. Where's everything else going? The 9. When your
Think
luck's not in.
I think that's the farm.
When your luck's not in, it just ain't in. Unlucky to the nth degree, Corey Freeman.
So one good rail shot here from Stephen. I think he should be able to get position. Might take that second to last. He might take the 10 and draw back towards the middle.
I still like the 12 first. Put the
Because you get a natural, because
gonna
of the
come-
7. The 7 makes it yuck.
well. I mean, I'll take this first because of the 10.
Is he trying to get a straight
He's
here?
there
And
on here, so I mean, take that as you will.
is he trying to? So he's going to go here, back, just below where the wide is now. Get an angle on the 11 to come back up.
Nah, he's going 12, 11
12
here.
now.
He's got to cue through this though, because otherwise he gets stuck behind the 7.
Yeah. So
The other option is if you thin this 11 and run 2 rails and be in a similar spot on the 12.
yeah,
but
that's what I was
it is
saying.
the
And then,
12.
and then you've got the 12-8.
Oh, howdy doody on rail shots.
Didn't matter.
Not one iota, and now he's just got 2 balls to go.
One ball to
Speed.
go.
Such a popular figure in the pool community. How big is this for Steve Denton? 5-0 over Corey Freeman to get into the semi-finals.
Well done, Stevie. Only a couple of missed pots there, otherwise he's pretty consistent the whole time.
Yeah, there was very little to actually fault there. Now we've got a bit of bonus pull for you. This is not the trophy event, this is the flight.
The main flight, semi-finals, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. So Shannon Swain, who plays out of Gore, is one of the most highly regarded snooker players to come from that area. As you can probably tell by the way he cues, definitely a bit
I
of
saw
snooker
him.
in him.
I saw him. He was playing in the North versus South last night, right?
He was.
Yeah. He was stroking
Played
it
with, I believe,
really nice.
Tony McMillian.
Yep. Get out of there.
Very good. Yeah, no, he hits a really smooth ball. Such a crisp, clean
Yeah, it was
striker of a cue ball. Don't know what the score is, so please don't ask. This is a bit tricky.
No,
Shot's
doesn't
on,
go.
but it's hard because the 13's not on the rail.
I don't think it goes because he's looking at it quite sternly.
It doesn't go
Inside it.
inside, but it is a potential plant.
Playing safe?
No. Maybe it did go and he just tried to pick it in, but no,
Maybe he's just
Jordan.
trying to play safe here and Jordan leave him like on the 2 right in that pocket.
Possible. He didn't have much room to work with, but
No.
if he'd managed it,
Yeah. Just a little bit softer, I think it would have stuck there.
yeah. I mean, it's difficult to gauge speed when you jack up like that, isn't it?
Yep.
So logic will tell me that we'll get the other side of the draw for the semi-final. So So that'll be Simon. won't it?
Simon's game.
Yeah.
Haven't
Perhaps.
seen much of Simon on the stream.
No.
Some people will be happy about.
Don't know how
Even
you
though
can
he
be
is one of the best in-
unhappy watching the current best player.
That's perfect from Geordie. Couldn't have stuck that any better. And this for the 8 to win an extra frame. Might be able to figure out what the score is here. So, not shaking hands, so it's not hill, and it's not over.
No, it's not over, so
Shannon's just walking out of the room.
go to the bathroom.
Quite possibly. Wendy Stevenson
Just helping out there, cleaning the
referee
what?
there. Must give a big thank you to all the referees who have volunteered their time for this event.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few of them, which is great, and we've had a good mix of North and South Island referees.
I'll go for a walk for you.
Thank you.
Paul's just going to do his reporting duties.
You got both.
You can commentate and do my duty there.
You got both Nick. You got both Nick Hanger and Simon at the table at the moment, and Nick just playing a safety, and Brett shaking his hand. So don't know what the score is there.
Somebody must be giving you a score update soon. Well, you reckoned it was, what, 3-1 to...
Simon was 3-1 the last
I'm
day,
talking about
and he
the
just rolled the black in. So they're not shaking hands.
4-1?
So it must be 4-1.
I'm talking about the Brett versus Nick game.
Yeah,
4-3 to Healy, okay.
Oh, Paul Hinch. What do you know now? Simon 4-1.
How's
Yep.
your sphincter, Paul?
Yep. Horse might be going back to the stable.
Or to the glue factory.
Cheesecake Factory.
I'll get some delicious cutlets off it. Looking at the table against Healy, and he's got a pretty open looking table too from what I can see.
Where's Thingy?
Just to the right
Oh,
there,
okay.
on table 16.
Interesting.
Balls have been racked, by the way, in our match.
Let's ask. PK will know what the score is. We'll go ask him.
So just bear with us, folks, for this. Is Adam in this? No. Healy beat him in the last 16. He's probably glad that black went down, because that could have uglied that whole frame up. Big break there from, I believe it was Shannon.
Geordie just went and sat down.
3-2 Geordie, thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, no, it was Shannon who broke. He got at least the black off the break. Black, of course, counts
Brendan's
as
still
a
at the
ball
table.
off the break.
Oh, Brett's at the table, so Nick hasn't quite got this.
Not happy with himself. I'm just
Wonder
looking
if he left a
over.
little gap.
Mind you, that's this game, and this is the one that we can see on the screen. Shannon Swain. Whoever designed those shirts for the Super Charter League for Southland, you deserve a big round of applause. Those are lovely shirts. Possibly the same person who designed the ones for South Canterbury and Otago as well.
Yeah, that is similar, isn't it? There's the Otago one's what, blue?
Yeah, it's blue with a little bit of yellow, and the South Canterbury one's a greenish colour.
Yep.
So looking here for possibly the 14, if he can see enough of it, which it looks like he can. 4-4 now, Healy and Brendan, so your sphincter will be going overtime now, Paul.
Paul Hinch.
Anybody watching that game? I think John might be seeing if he can do some commentary on that game even. Because he can see what's happening from where we are.
So Brendan's just breaking here. He's got a ball too. White's pretty nice.
Jordan there just trying to talk Shannon into playing the 14, but he didn't quite burrow the cue ball in far enough towards the 14, so he could take the rail here to the left and then hit the 12.
BJ's just got a frame here, so that could be 3-2 now.
3-2 Nick Hinger, you reckon?
Yep.
Picks the one out nicely there. The 12 may cut behind the 6. In fact, I'm pretty sure it does cut behind the 6. We don't have another view, but just from my experience, these generally do go. But he didn't hit it very well. He's under-cued it by some distance. Clearance, so I hear from Charlotte via Dan.
So I'm calling another audible down to Adam Lilly just to confirm the Brett Faria game.
Adam, Brett and Brett very close, of course. They are current champions of both the South Island and the Nationals for pairs. So Adam will be following that game with aplomb. And Geordie not mucking around with this. Just the one that's ugly. If he can play the 5 here, get himself on the 6, and then work back around for the 3 and the 2, and then possibly the double. But he's looking at the 1 now. And I don't mind that shot because of the fact that
The 5's in the way.
the 5's in the way, the 9 and the 12 are both safe.
Yep.
So he's taken the opportunity whilst the balls are tied up to extricate the 1. And this seems to be a favourite shot of many players in Canterbury, is to play that double into the corner. Oh, he was trying to stick that right behind the 5. He's not quite managed to do so.
BJ actually leaving Nick Hinger at the table, the referee, and he's just gone for a bathroom break.
Okay.
Hopefully going to have some stern words and things of encouragement in front of the wind mirror. Come back out and...
He does strike me as that sort of person, doesn't he?
I think if you see a top player take a break like that, that's definitely something that I'd think that they'd be doing. Definitely trying to...
It's deliberate ploy, isn't
Yep.
it? To
Yep.
refocus and
Yep.
just to take a bit of time out of the game, just
Yep.
to try to disrupt rhythm.
Yep.
He's walking back into the arena now. Is Geordie looking now to, I believe, seal the deal? I think this is just a race to 4, so if it's a race to 4, then he's on the hill. Whether he decides to try and take the 12 out here or go round it. He's bumped into the 3.
Good one.
It's not horrible. A good shot on the 1 will
Good one.
see him right here.
Yep.
It's obviously not ideal, but it's not horrible at the same time.
So Simon looks like he's on the last ball.
Looks like the black in
Yep,
the middle to
black to
finish,
the
and it's
middle to
pretty
finish.
simple.
So stable Singleton go first. Calcutta stable.
Indeed, 5-1 by the look of it. Simon Singleton over Phil Wilkinson and Jordan Maihee.
I think Healy made a good shot.
Well, he
there, 'cause
might
it was
just consider himself a touch lucky with where the 1's finished, because
Oh, it was open, wasn't it?
it was, and he's even raised his hand to say sorry for that to Shannon, which is good sportsmanship. I like that. Generally the top players will do that when they get a slice of luck like that.
So the goat going down to possibly the future goat?
True. I mean, and he's proving himself to be one of the best players in the country, full stop, isn't
Yeah.
he? Is Simon Singleton. So, I mean, you're talking current top 3. I mean, Simon's got to be in that list,
The
doesn't
win
he?
today, he goes into second, doesn't he? I think
Behind
Alex
Phil
was saying.
Wilkinson.
Is it good? Because
behind Phil Wilkinson for overall titles.
That's right.
This is Islands versus Nationals.
Yeah, that's right. Alex was talking about the stats before.
Lovely weight from Jordan,
Jordy.
so just the 2 balls to go, and he'll make himself
Just float this down
away
and
to
back
the
in the middle.
final. Could do. Or he could play it in the corner and double the black in the opposite middle pocket. This is the semi-final of the championship
And
flight.
Healy is on the black.
And he's
So
got
Healy-
it, so
Healy going up over Brendan Name.
and Healy was actually one of my predictions. In fact, somebody asked me one player, who do you think one player to win this? And I actually said Healy
Was
White.
Healy your pick?
Yes. Especially after beating Adam, I think that kind of confirmed that. Just to get into the final, he's overcut it. Shannon Swain, what have you got?
Shannon, get some points on the board here.
Correct, Mr. Southwest. Followed closely by Simon and then Healy. So Brett DeFaria and Nick Hing are still at the
Sorry,
table.
Greg. Sorry, Greg.
He's an absolute excitement machine.
So Ning, Team Hinch has just gone down, so they'll be probably buying
Drowning
a beer.
their sorrows.
Buying
That's
a
beautiful queuing. And every roll was a winner for the 12.
Oh. So we've only got one semi left. Oh,
Yep,
1/4 left,
One
sorry.
quarter left. Make this. And it's 3 each.
It's very hard to...
Overcut it. And you could see how much it meant to him. It's a great effort from Shannon Swain, but it looks like it will fall short. Jordan Maihi 4-2 up. But from the looks of it, it was a wonderful match between 2 willing and able combatants. So Geordie will get through to the final of the championship flight, where he will meet either Cody Turner or Avon Placid in the final.
So now I think there's only one game out there. Is that right? Cody's
walking back
Cody's
with
got
the
the
scorecard,
scorecard,
so
so-
it must be Cody versus Geordie in the final. That'll be a game worthy of streaming as well, I reckon.
Yeah.
Hopefully they put that game on a streaming table. If they don't, I can understand, because you've still got semis to be played. Because there is one school of thought that says play one semi on one streaming table and the other on the other one.
Yeah.
Steve and Simon final.
Could be.
It could very well be. I mean, I'm just trying to think of who's playing whom. Like, okay, let's just say that Nick Hinger goes on and wins that game. So who would he play in semi? I'm just trying to think, because I don't actually have access to a draw, but I know John does.
I'm just trying to figure out what the score is.
Looks like there's at least another frame gone. So either 3 each or 4-2 to Nick is my pick.
Well, no, Brett just got the last frame, so...
No, it must be 3 each then. You reckon it
I'm
might be
thinking
3
it's
all?
three each, but there's a lot of tension down there, so it could be...
Can somebody please give us an update for the score? If you're watching this, I mean, John's trying to put all the feelers out possible for
Trying.
anyone watching
I'm
this.
messaging everybody watching it, and they're all ignoring me, so... Sorry, folks.
Des Wilcox, try him.
I've tried these.
Oh, game's
shaking
over.
hands. Pony down.
So Nick Hinger has
Must be four.
beaten Brett DeFaria by...
Must be 5-3.
It must be 5-3, yeah. So Nick will also move into the semi-finals.
So that'll be Nick versus Simon, and Healy versus Steve.
Oh.
So I don't know which one you want to watch there, John, but I think
Oh, can I refuse to answer the question? Is that an
are you
option?
pleading the fifth?
I'm pleading the fifth. I'm going to get another drink too, so you don't have to speak to my ass until I get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a drink because this is too tense.
I think we might need commentary box pizza as well, so we'll be back in a short moment, folks.
What, you want to chill one?
We could do.
That meatloaf pizza's fire.
Talk to you in a bit.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
Right, so thank you all for waiting. You will be duly and richly rewarded with an engaging semi-final. I just need to change the bottom of the screen there. It says quarterfinal. This is indeed a semi-final between Nick Hinger and Simon Singleton. So Nick from, I think, Whanganui. I know he's representing one of the clubs in the area, and Simon playing out of Cashmere, although he's got more than one different club he could represent. Anyone know who's still in? Well, Nick Hinger, Simon Singleton is one semi-final. The other semi-final is Healy White versus Steve Denton. So, I mean, quite possibly what we will have is the other semi-final being streamed on the secondary table.
No, that's Jordan's on that table.
Okay, so no, the final of the flight's going on the other streaming table. So hopefully we can get somebody to give us some score updates on the other semi.
No, we had Steve on the stream before, so that's why we've got this match between Nick and Simon.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's fair enough. It's just a little bit of a bummer to some of the audience
Wanting
that
to watch
the
Healy?
other semi-final is not being streamed. I'm just going to message Daniel Cole and ask him if he's okay to do the scoring duties. Nick's not happy with that, but if the 3 goes, then there's not much there to really shake your head about, because
You just have to get the weight right here to not make it funny on the 15. You just keep clear of those 2 balls to the top right, and you're away laughing. So we'll have Eagle Eyes Paul on the case watching Healy. Then if we have somebody looking at that table, we'll be good for updates as Nick just overcuts it. So, Simon, you got a chance? Doors open.
I've just messaged Daniel Cole and asked him to give me some updates on the other semi.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll come through for me. He did tell me he was willing to do it. Put your
so
money where your mouth is, Dan.
called an audible, organised an audible. So it's more of a huddle.
And I'll keep an eye on the flight.
Yeah, and we've got an eye in the sky on the flight. So
Haha, you're a poet, you're a wordsmith, and you didn't know it. I get to see that. It's that deliberate way that Simon plays, and
it's really methodical.
yes, very.
Thinks about where he needs to be for the next shot and puts the ball where he needs to be as well.
He's a big believer of doing drills, isn't he, for cue ball positioning. It's not so much the pots that he practices. Obviously,
It's really the position.
it's the position more than the potting, because the potting, you trust your eye to make the pot, but you trust your hand-eye more to make your position every time.
See, that's why he's trusting the 10 here, and knowing he's got the angle for the 15.
And also knowing that he
Using
can
that
draw
ball.
a circle in his head
Yep.
on the table and land the cue ball in that circle.
Basically go up there and just plant it and give you ball in hand each time.
Yeah, basically, I mean, that's what he's looking for, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you're trying to look for the most effective route between balls, and you're looking for that route to go all the way to the ball before the black. So you're doing the minimum of work for the maximum of effort.
He's probably a little bit unhappy. I'd imagine he wanted to be on the 13 here.
But now he can draw a new route.
Yeah.
He can,
So he's just going to come 2 rails off, or even just 1 rail and up towards. What are you doing, Simon?
he's going
You're
to
gonna
go
go around the
13
14?
and he's going to go around the back of the 14 here, because he knows he's got a lot of room here. He's got a lot of room to play the shot.
Because
So
he wanted coming into the ball here to make the 8 easy. So now you just got to roll this in, take the 8.
that's another thing that I learnt from talking to him, is that you don't really want to be playing across the ball for position, or in a line that's going across the ball. You'd rather be having the cue ball roll towards the ball, because then you've got fewer things that could go wrong. Yeah.
Basically just need to make the pot then.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
that was just a pot, really. There was nothing else to it. And
The McHill theme of just trying to keep it simple, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Simon's one of the best exponents in this game in New Zealand as he takes a 1-0 lead over Nick Hinger. I mean, Nick Hinger as well. I mean, you look at the way he plays, and he's lovely to watch when he's in full flow because of the fact that he's such a good touch player, and he's so good with his angles.
Yeah, I was playing him on one of the nights, and he seemed like he just naturally used the angles really well. So it's quite.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Nick too is that he's able to fairly quickly adapt to tables as well.
Steve's up 1-0.
Because if he's using a table that doesn't quite suit his style of play, then he'll just change it ever so subtly.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the book here to see.
You just asked the referee with Simon. Oh,
so he is actually playing out of Tauranga. Okay, so that is correct.
So Nick doing this well. There's a dry break, so just letting Simon lift the ball, take the shark crack out, place it back down. Job done. People move on.
Yeah, make it easy.
How it should be. Nobody mentioned in the AGM to remove all fouls from removing the shark crack or touching a shark crack.
Not that I know of, although I'd be very much in favour of that.
Especially moving it, and it just moves something like.
Okay, so no, he is representing Taradale in the singles. Okay.
Did you change it?
I did, because I forgot that it was what he was going on for the singles as opposed to the pairs.
Oh. And that was stroked.
He's also one of the best drag shot players in the country, and obviously that goes with the touch, but it's something that you learn as well. You have to drill it into your muscle memory.
Yep.
And again, with tables that don't quite play for that shot, you can still play it, but you've got to then adjust. And Nick will still play that shot on a table that doesn't really suit it.
I don't know if they wanted to go into that.
I don't think he did either, but he's possibly got the 7 here. Looks like the 7 is on and will cut down the rail.
Can we go to the top? No, I don't think it does.
I think it does. I think it's very tight.
What do you think, Nick? He's cutting the 2. Is he?
He looks like he's
so
playing
hard.
the 2.
Yeah, so that didn't cut. And then he kills that 7. So now all 3 of his smalls are pretty
bad.
Pretty rubbish.
And this is where a safety game comes in, because he's also got an incredibly good safety game, and that's built around what we were telling you before, is that his knowledge of angles and his touch.
So what are you doing here?
Both of them are top tier.
You're just leaving the white on top of... Oh, just a bit short.
I don't think he wanted the white on top of the 11 because he wanted the 7 away from the rail. If he'd played that shot to sit the cue ball on the 11, then the 7 would have been on the rail. I mean, he doesn't need it right on the 11 because this is a tough enough shot as it is.
Give Simon a little safety here, or just roll up next to the 14.
1-0 Cody.
So we have an update on the final of the flight. 1-0 Cody Turner over Jordan Maihe.
Thank you, Paul.
One 0 Steve over Healy as well.
I like this posse. It's just so.
He didn't like that at all. He actually looked like he gave it the bird as he was walking away.
So I don't know what there's second frames finished on Steve's table. So figure out if he just gave that a smash.
As he is wont to do.
Yep. Middle, running into near the 13. Lovely.
He's excellent at using balls for
Just
position as
just
well.
a bit
Both
of
of these
breaks.
players, in fact.
Just a bit of breaks there. Just use that ball just to slow up the white.
Steve 2-0 up, so taking a quick lead in this game against Healy, but we know what happened the last time anyone did that against him. Just go one rail with a maybe a trace of side just to
He's
ensure
unhappy. Wanted a
he's
bounce
gone
route.
behind this.
Wanted a bounce. I think he might reroute here and go the 12.
Agreed. Go the 12 and then either the 11 or the 13 depending.
13, 15, and then try and get some angle to play that 11, 10. There's 8 pots to the middle, right middle.
Yeah,
So-
and if you can leave yourself the
Yeah, so
10
he's just
last
measuring.
somehow.
Oh, you might do it now, because then you put some bottom into this, and you still got the other 2 to come into.
He's going to try and play into the 7 to get the 7
Move it.
across into the 4 and the 8. Okay.
No, I think he's just going to move the 8. The 7's just going towards the middle of the table.
No, he tried to use the 7 to move the 8, but he's not done it.
One big
However,
One big shot. 10's last.
yeah, it will have to be now. But that's the thing
Unless-
with that is that it didn't work, but he's still on for a clearance. So he's actually taken his percentage chance there quite well. And knowing that it may not work, but hey ho, I'm still on a ball.
Well, I think that's why he didn't take the 15 there. It was a good option because it always gave him the security here to have one of those 2 balls that he could have played onto.
So slots the 15 at a rate of knots, and
I'm thinking that the 8 pots to the bottom left, past the 4.
that may bring the 10 into play now if
Yeah.
it does. I mean, if you float this 13 in though, you're at a reasonable angle on the 10 to play it.
Either way, right?
I mean, either way you play it, is fine. Oh, he's steered that in beautifully.
Yeah.
So Steve 2-1 ahead now. So Healy's obviously just broken and cleared because that only took about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that sound wasn't very long ago, echoing through the hall of Healy White on cue ball on freshly racked.
R18 for violence,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
is
kids
the
look
way
away.
that he always does it.
Kids look away.
Yeah, so Daniel's just confirmed that.
Okay, so it does go.
Yeah. He's taken a different route too because he was more off angle than he would have otherwise wanted to be, but he had that secondary
Does he have to
shot.
dig this?
I would say so, but only as a drag type shot. Oh, he got really close to it. He's actually missed his line badly there. He's just
Bugger.
fluffed his lines horribly. I don't think I've ever seen him.
Missed something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy shot, yeah, but usually Simon's incredibly good at pacing those or
That just goes
getting
to
the
show
line
you.
right.
That just goes to show you 1 inch further of roll there, and he probably would never miss it.
Correct. This is interesting. He's going to go around 2 or 3 rails here.
Oh no.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh no.
He's just had a massive soft waft at that. It should be a relatively simple black, this. And
Yep.
it is for Simon Singleton, so he
So
goes
black-
2-0 up.
Like really giving him a frame there.
Maybe it's been a while since he's played on this table as well, Nick King. He's still trying to get used to the speed and
You
the
mean-
fact that it naps as well.
You
And
mean the on-cue table itself?
this table as opposed to the others in the venue, because he's probably played on several tables. It's just that
So Cody's 2-0 up.
I think this table with all the lights and everything on it will play ever so slightly
Well,
differently
you got
to
2
the
sets. You get 2 sets of lights on this one.
that too. I mean, that does make a difference. It's obviously a bit brighter, I reckon, but also the fact that it's right in the centre of the room, so you've got all this body heat converging around it, so it might.
You got all the people there as well. So you got the warmth of the room plus all the people kind of crowding around them.
So Nick beat Brett 5-2.
5-2,
Simon beat Phil 5-1.
5-1, 5-2 and 5-1. Okay.
You're just going to read off some table sponsors, are you
Yeah,
there?
I was going to read some table sponsors once he just racked the ball so quickly that I couldn't I couldn't get in with the grin there.
And Healy was 5-4 over Brendan. and Steve, obviously we saw 5 now.
Just tucking up,
Tucking
trying to
it
tuck up behind 13. So there you go, rifle us off, John.
So while we've got a little bit of safety play, I'll just go through the table sponsors for the event this week. So table 1 sponsors Fast Autoglass. Table 2 is Liquorland Wairaki Road. Table 3 is Bowie Services. They also provided the shuttles and the vans and things for all of the people from out of Christchurch to get around. Table 4 is Giannis Peterbreads. Table 5 is Rob Down, Harcourt's Grenadier in Beckenham. Table 6 was Pete Painting. Table 7 is Christchurch Accountancy. Table 8 is OnQ. Table 9 is Express Electric. And Table 10 was Mag in Turbo. So they were the tables in the main part of the building, and now the 14 tables that were here in the hall were Express Towing on table 11, Angus Meats on table 12, the tournament sponsor Suck It Up, table 14 was Liquorland Wairaki Road, table 15 Anderton Decorating, table 16 DJ Purdon Builders, table 17 the live streaming table is also the tournament sponsor Suck It Up, table 18 is Pete's Painting, table 19 is the Asahi Beverages New Zealand, table 20 is Gaming Machine Distributors, table 21 is the Cashmere Club, table 2 our secondary live table is sponsored by Smoke and Barrel, table 23 is Lion Nathan, and table 24 is the Cashmere Club. So thank you to all the sponsors and your generous ability to let us have our
givings that you've bestowed us with.
our wonderful tournament that we've got. So Cody Turner has gone up 3-0. So
Simon looking to crack
smalls?
into these.
the smalls or bigs? Sorry, I was
I
busy,
believe he's on smalls.
busy reading, so he's
So
going to hold
he's-
into the 9. Oh,
Good use of the
yeah,
10
here's
to
the 10.
freeze it up for the 3. So it looks like that safety battle's a little bit of safety in this frame. Simon's managed to jump out at the through the fire in this.
Might be rail first and trying to come out for the 7. Yeah.
She does. And
So now
should only need to go a rail. I mean, the 9 doesn't
does he
look
have
like it's
angle to
in the
miss
way.
the 9?
It looks so. If not, he might take the 3, but he is going to go for the 7. Yeah, he's not sure, is he?
I'm not sure from this angle either. I don't think he's convinced. I think he's just going to nick into the 9.
I think if that's the case, if you're not sure, or you
And
can't
then the angle on the
sure
3 is
yourself.
straight. He's got a straight on the 3, so
let's draw back.
he's topping it. Just don't pop it, just let it bite.
Don't play it, Simon, if you don't like it. It's one of the things I was told. If you don't like it, don't play it. So
Yeah.
he's run into the
Yeah.
9, but he's okay.
He's okay. We're okay, stable Singleton. We're all good.
Because it could have gone ugly, couldn't it? And that's what he was worried about.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. But that is the best case scenario.
Best case scenario, yeah.
3-0 Simon Singleton over Nick Hinger.
Woo! Sorry, Nick.
Yeah. Simon and Nick just playing for their respective islands in the North versus South match last night. Simon for the South, even though he's representing Taradale, which is a club somewhere near Hastings, and Nick Hinger representing the North Island.
3-1 to Cody now, so 3-1 on that table.
I believe
They
that
playing
game
race
was a
to
race to 4.
I think so.
Because it was race to 2, so then it changed to race to 3 and
I
4.
think it was 3 to start with, and then 4.
Yeah, it was.
It was 2 for the trophy flight. Can you get the shark rack off here?
I just saw Matt Lee that 8 moved. See what I
Can you
mean?
get
It's
the
just so
shark rack off?
Yeah, he just moved it
I'm
in.
pretty sure he was all over the 8 there, so I mean, I don't think Nick's the sort of person who would jump on you for that.
I don't think that it should be a foul though. Like you're just trying to remove it.
No, and if it's a situation like that, I'd be getting the ref to remove it.
Yeah,
I
but
just wouldn't get your hands in there.
The
Get your
problem
ref
is
to
you have
do it.
24. You have 24 tables going. You have 24 jokers using the shark rack. Like all they're doing is removing shark racks the whole day.
Yeah, but in this situation though, when you're down to a
Yeah, I understand now, but I'm saying in general. Like
in
it's
general,
yeah.
Definitely, and that's why I think it should be no fouls on that,
Yeah.
because you just cannot have a referee or a qualified person to do it for you. You just don't have enough of them.
Yeah. They should
But
be
in this
making calls
situation,
on other things.
exactly, in this situation, however, I wouldn't be doing that myself, but all's well that ends well.
I prefer them to be timing.
I would too, and that's why I would have volunteers. If you can't get referees, you get volunteers with a stopwatch.
On each table.
Well, yes, I know what you're going to say. There's 24 tables,
Yeah.
but just bear with me while I live in an ideal world. That would be an ideal scenario. Obviously, we don't have
Stop.
that. Let's just put the
Might be
brakes
right.
on. No, he's fine.
Top throw, move the 3. Oh, I just bumped
Top
that.
throw, move the 14.
I just
Valid.
stunned it, I think. I didn't think it was top there.
If he topped it, he would have hit the 3 and
Yeah.
pushed it onto the 14. Oh dear!
Chink. I think that was the first shot in this whole game that he just was real quick.
Yeah, he was too quick on it, and even for a player who generally plays quite fast, even though he's methodical, you can get too quick.
But
I've
his
seen
whole-
it with Healy and I've seen it with Adam.
His whole pace today had been quite regimented and quite
Shot.
what do you call it? Like
Took the 6 out away from the 9.
quite regimented and quite structured throughout his games that we've been seeing.
Yeah, he
And
hadn't
then-
changed it, had he?
Yeah, and
It's
then
all the
now,
same.
now we come to a shot and just
Rushed
kinda
it.
moved pace and rushed it and snatched at the shot. Open the door here for Nick.
I just wonder if he'll play the 4 here or the 1 and flip the 9 away. I reckon he plays it into the
4.
9 and pushes the 9 down the rail. That's the play for me.
Boy pots.
Yeah, knowing Nick Hinger, and he didn't even
So-
need the 9 down the rail, he just needed to make sure he got pos on the 2.
Yeah, it's just all for the 2.
So he could play this really slowly and try to play pos on the 4 for the top
Like that
left,
drag.
but I reckon he'll go top.
through.
I reckon he'll go top right. He's tried to play really slowly and it just tips in
Just.
by the skin of its teeth.
So what do we got, Nick? What do we got?
I just wonder if the 7 goes in past the 9 there. I think that's the most natural angle. I know Nick's probably looking
It's
at
just
something
this,
else.
It's just this angle here on the 4s. He's going to have to pull it past the middle.
Can he get enough on it? No, he's missed it.
See, that he's got a result there with the 14.
Yeah, 15's not on,
Any
9's not
14
on.
you like?
Indeed. I just wonder if this cuts, you know. I know it sounds silly,
No,
but
yeah.
that angle there actually gives credence to the theory that cuts.
You have to cut it.
I think you have to. I think you
just
have to take
looking-
the risk. You're 3-0 up.
Just looking where this is going to run into.
He's also looking at the double, now the triple.
Triple.
Yep, between the 7 and the 15, and then past the 9. This could be for safety as well, you know. I mean,
Drag this to the bottom, that middle bolt. Yeah, so he's playing the triple. So,
no.
oh,
But
that was
he's
a
own,
great effort.
it was a
He's
great
opened up-
effort.
He's opened up the middle pocket though, past the 9. You got to watch out. We've got to watch out for an off here though.
I'm pretty sure Nick will play this to avoid the in-off, but the thing is, for me, is that it's not going to be easy to give yourself a good shot on the 4.
Yeah.
I mean, 3-0 down, you've got to
3-0
trust your
down.
guns, but it can be a little bit tricky to do so for the long shots, because I'm guessing this will be relatively long for the 4 here.
Plus, it's a tough pocket for it to it in hard. So yeah.
That's a beautiful shot. He's done
Well,
about
best
as
he could
good
do.
as he could do.
Got the John S fan club texting him.
3-1 to Steve in the other semi-final against Healy.
Is that the fan club leader, Daniel Cole?
Could be.
3-1.
Yep. So this is a draw. Well, it was meant to be a draw. He might have snookered himself.
Yeah.
He has snookered himself.
Got a little slight edge, but do you just try and make the middle?
Tried to make the middle. He's
Oh.
okay. He can breathe.
Far out. That was close to just frame loss.
Oh, that would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You lose a frame that way.
It still could be heartbreaking here because someone just basically needs one mildly hard pot here, which he probably does drills for 20 million times a week.
Well, you're thinking 14 here. He might
14.
even be looking to cut it in the middle, but 15 also is a possibility here. It's 15.
Yummy.
He slotted it
Was
beautifully.
he,
Does he take the 9 into the middle
Yeah,
or the
he just-
corner here?
he just slides this and it'll go out like a foot to the left. Just like here. Pocket weight. Give him a straight
Oh,
on the 14.
shite. Sorry, John, you've been off the whole time.
That's okay.
That Mike would have picked it up.
Oh, okay.
Still would have picked me up. Here we go, Simon.
So this to get on the hill very,
Hill.
very quickly here.
Go on the top of Rapaki, and he's up there.
So 4-0 Simon Singleton. Does Nick Hinger have it in him to
I think it's very
best
tough.
the beast at the moment?
It's very tough from here.
Oh, exactly. I mean, a guy who's just absolutely dialed in as Simon is. He's barely missed a ball. And, I mean, Nick try as he might, just things have not gone for him in this game. It's very similar, in fact, to the Steve versus Corey game that we had earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, Corey try as he might, he just couldn't get things to go for him. And Nick's in very much the same position here.
That just shows you, like, you can still play a good game, but the Bulls still hate you.
Oh, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. He's okay with the
Got
break.
one here.
So he's got a full table to look at here, so there comes the fight back. It's got to be now.
Gotta show who someone who's boss here.
Show him that you're still here. Going for the overs. So
I think this is a good option. Like, you've got 9, 15, so if you can get low on the 15, you can come back up.
I think so. And the 15 certainly looks like it will go into the bottom left pocket. He just hasn't got his weight right. He's done
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
His weight's just been all over the place in this frame.
I just-
Sorry, in this game.
Does he normally play some other cue sport, or is he...
He plays a bit of snooker as well. Drag shot. He's missed it by a country mile though.
Good safe.
It wasn't even in the same postcode.
I don't know if he was just laying up there.
I think he kind of was, but I don't think he wanted the cue ball there. I mean, the cue ball there is more luck than management. He's just missed it by so much that he's ended up going where he
good.
didn't want to. Yeah.
You missed it so badly, it's good.
Yeah.
Simon's going to put this over the top left.
Stick it near the 8 and try and stick the cue ball in jail. He's not happy with it. He wanted it
Needed
further
it.
along.
Another subway upwards.
Yeah, wrong line. Wrong stop on the line.
Yep. Opened up the door a little bit for Nick. So Nick might be able to get on the 15 here.
So he would need to. He might play it off the 13 though, because the
Yeah.
angle wasn't conducive from the 9 there, because you're going to run into the 13 and potentially going off it.
It might sound crazy, but he might go 14 up and down the table, and then the 15's the last ball with the 8 back into the middle.
You're not wrong though, he's looking at it. I mean, for me, I think, unless you already said it, I think the 15 is your last ball now.
Yep.
You've kind of roped yourself into it, haven't you?
Well, the 8's just so open there now. Like you just get a straight on the 15,
just roll
pop
it in.
pop
and
it
then-
down there, and then Bob's your uncle to middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's just out of the Simon Singleton
Yeah.
playbook, that, isn't it?
There's a page out of the Singleton playbook, and there's your drag shot. I don't think you can get better than that.
It's pretty crisp. And you've got this angle and this angle. I mean, that would tell you that it's not on. So I just wonder whether he can see something we can't, or he
I
can
think
put a bit of
that
sight on this.
I think that the camera angle is just a little bit skewed. But
Yeah, I mean,
Didn't
it's
lie.
a little bit distorted,
Didn't lie.
isn't it?
Yeah. He was probably just trying to spread it with a bit of opposing English.
Which in this case would have been, what, a
Right.
bit of right.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to calculate that in the third person.
I think this thing for Simon here, you'll be unhappy with that, because I think he wanted to get 2 to 4.
Yeah, he's got a high.
Yeah, he's just ended up, well, no, he's ended up low on it.
Yeah, he wanted to be high. Sorry. Healy just got another frame.
So 3-2, I think that makes it to Steve Denton. He's still got options though. If he's relatively straight on this, then
Does he try and maybe the 6 might even come inside the? It's hard to tell.
I think the 6 does. And again, you'd be looking at a different angle for this. I mean, this is not your right one; it's this one here.
He tried to come to that side of the 4. So he's trying to come around the back of it so he could play the 15 out.
Is there any chance you can catch the knuckle here?
Yeah, you're gonna
at
have
the
to.
15.
It's very.
He's tried to go behind it.
I quite like that.
I do too. I mean, Nick
And,
may not be able to
and
plot this.
the hard thing here is, although Nick's really good at these long shots coming off in and out of bulk for the 15, Simon's put the 7 in a place that just makes that shot sketchy.
Yeah, I think that takes the shot out of the equation. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even play that shot.
Yeah,
I'd
but
be
if the 7
looking-
wasn't there, like it's a
I
total...
still wouldn't play that shot. You're relying on too much to go
Yeah,
your
you're
way, and you're 4-0 down.
4-0 down.
I think you just touch us over the hole and let Simon deal with it. Yeah, let Simon mess with that. Don't you go getting your fingers in it.
I think that's quite good.
Let Simon get his hand bitten off.
He might try to tie up the black here.
He could do. There is still a tiny bit of gap here between the 15 and the rail, and you can see it probably best on that view there. I honestly think no, he's going to go for something else here. Is he going for the 4? No, he's done what you suggested. He's tying the black up.
So he's now just taken that shot across to the middle away.
Discretion, the better part of valour.
I think that was a great shot.
I think it was too, against a guy who's just struggling a little bit for confidence, for timing, for
Making him think.
speed. I mean, the speed of the table's kind of gotten him beat for a lot of this game. He's not been his usual self in terms of spotting the cue ball.
This is the position you want to be in, because like you're saying, hey, you've got to make a shot. I'm 4-0 up. Like, what have you got? And now he's given Simon a look at the 7. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries and takes that, and then
Just goes to show you where his mind's at too.
Yep.
With Nick, he's He doesn't want to. He'd rather not lose to a bad shot. He'd rather make Simon work for the frame.
I like that because the 7's still in the way here once he pops the 15. 15's working more and more and more into the pocket, and Nick's going to have to get lucky.
You just wonder if you try to leave the cue ball, if possible, to stick on the 7. I know it sounds like it's very... it is possible. And I know Nick will try and find it, but...
Nick will try and go... If he's not trying the triple, it's the best person in the world. Oh my god.
Oh, look at this. It's worked out beautifully for him.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you.
Oh, we can breathe a big sigh of relief. The game is still on.
Game is still on.
Kinga now off the schneid. It's 4-1 Simon Singleton.
It's always a good feeling to get off the 0.
Oh, definitely, because, I mean, you kind of feel like you've done nothing if you lose 5-0, even though if you rewind the tape, that's not the case.
Thank you very much to Naomi for bringing us up our supper. Keeping the commentary box rolling.
Hungry job, this. Thirsty job as well. You've got a coffee and I've got a...
Maker's Mark and 0.
Yep.
I think.
Thank you very much to Stacey, for my wife, for dropping me off this morning. 3-3, is it? Barbara Bernard will be very quickly able to tell me that. So Cody Singleton looks like your flight final champion.
Cody Turner.
Turner.
Cody Singleton. New brother to Simon.
So yeah, he will be... Obviously it's the best of a bad situation, isn't it? You lose the first round, you feel a bit bummed, but then a little voice in your head tells you you've still got the flight to pay for. Go on and win that. Win yourself a bit of money and a bit of pride to go back.
That's what I said to myself when I was in the trophy.
Well, it's what you're playing for, isn't it? You play to actually continue playing pool.
That was the best faux pas so far, Charlotte. Thank you. It wasn't me too, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's even better when you don't do it, you get to laugh at it.
Yeah.
What do they say? If you don't laugh, you cry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Needs to go. Needs to go. He tried to wave it on.
Didn't wave.
Didn't wave back.
Maybe the one saving thing here is it's in the pocket, so we can actually hit the bottom here.
Ooh, the cue ball, that's fine.
That's right.
Should be able to keep that line relatively straight here for the 12 by which I mean that it's just off straight, but he can straighten it up if he plays it with just a trace of drag, perhaps, or a trace of side as well. And that was your other option. Jeez, that's so close.
How close is that?
That's not going to tell us, and keep forgetting it's the wrong side. I think this is on, and geez, he's going to give himself a little bit of an extra time to look at this, and so he should.
Yeah.
We pots this and tops through. He's got a good shot on the 8.
He does. He's made it a bit harder than he needs to, though. Hit the 2. Move it out of the way.
He's
Has he moved it out of the way far enough?
I don't think it is.
I think you might be right. Unless you can dig in a
Bit of
little
right.
bit, play a swerve.
Bit of right.
I think it's a swerve, and I think Nick's pretty good at these too. He's even looking at the double somewhere.
The cross table double to the far corner.
I don't even know if he can hit it in the right position for that. I think the three's in the way.
Yeah.
Off the 7 maybe, I mean, what a shot that would be. Or even the triple.
Look, he's looking up all of the answers.
Every single letter in the alphabet.
I think he's
Hold
going
on
back.
to your
He's
hats.
going back to just hitting with a ton of right.
Oh, that had to be 2 first. It doesn't matter anyway, he's gone and off.
Oh. Nick.
So 5-1 to Simon Singleton, and for my count, yeah, I mean, I think the players are in shock.
Yeah.
For my count, that's the end of the game.
Yeah, he just needed to get pause without that 2 in the way, and then it cut.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't quite get it though. He was just 10 mil out from being good on the 8.
And sorry, we've got no camera close enough to the other table to even think of it.
So unfortunately,
0 cameras for
we cannot give
Healy's
you
game.
cannot give you any sight on Healy's match versus Steve. So we're going solely on eyewitness reports on that game. Because we can actually
Healy is at the table.
we can actually see the
And I think
table
he's on
from here.
Bigs. Wonder if you can go down and move the 17 up.
Healy looks in full focus mode too, doesn't he? You can just tell the way he stalks the table. I mean, he's one thing that Healy is so good at doing, even though he's a relatively quick player, you can see how he just stalks the table. Like he commands the table when he's there. I mean, that's his canvas. That's his surface. Here we go. He's got one, by the look of it, one ball in the black to go for a 4-3 lead. We're just
He was
going
down,
on
wasn't
what
he?
we can see. He was 3-1 down. And he's pulled it back beautifully for the middle pocket.
Composes himself, takes a breath. It's probably the longest pause of the whole frame.
Boom, in she goes. So Healy White gets to the hill. 4-3 against against Steve Denton.
Apologise for the munching. That's John. We might let's go to a commercial and finish off this pizza and come back to them. Nah. They can listen to us. It's quite a crowd downstairs.
Oh, it's great.
Good,
So many people have clubbed their way around that table too to actually watch what could very well be greatness. I mean, either person who wins in that game, it's greatness. Oh, here we go. We've got a camera just to the right of your screen is the game. I mean, you can't see very much, but at least you can see who's at the table. We can fill you in on the rest because we can see better from where we are.
The silverware's out.
just while I'm here, I'm just going to edit this. I know it might seem academic to do so. But I'm just going to change this just so you can see what's going on for the little amount of time that this will be showing. So just so you guys can actually get the full immersive experience whilst we don't have the camera trained on the table. So the other, for those of you who've just... Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the other semi-final is just finished, or those of you who have just joined, the other semi's finished, so Simon Singleton victorious over Nick Hinger 5 frames to 1. This particular game that we're showing from our other camera is Steve Denton versus Healy White. That's the other semi-final. The winner of that game plays Simon in the final. The score on the bottom of your screen is the current score. So Steve just taking his time here, as he so often does in these big spots. He's excellent at just taking a bit of time and then having a good look at the table. He's missed the double though.
Ooh.
So look at Healy, he's absolutely bounded out of his seat.
Has Healy won this before?
No, he's been to the final before. He was in the final in 2019 at Manurewa. This would be his first title if he goes on and wins it.
What about Steve? Has Steve won the Nationals?
Yes, in 2016.
2016.
Right, okay, we've got a guest visitor in the house. Can you please introduce yourself?
What am I missing here, John? Where's the mainstream table? How come I can't see this properly?
That's the best we've got.
Okay, best we've got.
Unfortunately.
How's things, John? How's it been going here? What have I missed? 4-3 to Healy, race to 5.
Indeed.
And Simon comprehensive in the other semi-final.
Correct. Over Nick Hinger.
Yeah, look, Nick was playing pretty well, but he'd be the first to admit that he probably didn't play fantastic against me in the quarterfinal, and it was just someone played average and the other one played slightly above average. So, but I was hoping he'd turn it up another gear, but Simon looked like he was not giving away many chances against Phil when he was playing next to us, and maybe the same in the semi against Nick.
Well, he was in full lockdown mode, wasn't he? Which is that's when you know that he's incredibly dangerous, is when he gives very little away, and even when he does miss a ball, usually it's because he's trying to do something big with it, and because he's so good at being able to play to nothing as well, just as Nick is.
Yeah, agree. They're both fantastic players in their own rights. But look, Simon's just there or thereabouts just about every tournament, isn't he? So you've got to give it away. Yeah, it's 4-all. We're on the hill. People possibly don't quite appreciate, John, how hard it is to get to this stage of the tournament. And if Simon's got through that game, was it 5-1?
5-1, yeah.
That's just so good at this stage of a tournament. So hats off to him. And I tell you what, he's going to have his work cut out for him in the final.
And these guys, but Healy and Steve, these guys are both hitting the ball so well. I mean, Healy, the whole week really.
Yeah, well, Healy was I think 3-1 down in this match, and he's gone and off, has he?
Oh dear.
He was 3-1 down, and I think he had Steve had a good chance to go 4-1 up, and just left the door ajar for Healy, and instead of being 4-1 up, big turning point, I think, at that time, obviously 4-1 up and 3-2 down, and then Healy kind of turned the screws a bit.
Yeah, I mean...
And won 3 on the bounce.
I mean, that's what you got to do too, and I don't know how many of those were clearances or whether they were grinds, but...
The first one was a grind, and I think the next two were good finishes, but you know, like I said, it doesn't take much at this stage of a tourney with these calibre of players. One miss, and Steve went from, you know, looking pretty good to being on the, you know, his opponents on the hill. Now, okay, he's got back to 4-all with a good finish, but and Healy's unfortunate to going off the break. But we're now 4-all, one frame to decide, you know, a place in the final. It's just pool's a cruel mistress.
Oh, it's a horrible game. Sometimes I wonder why we play it, but to watch this and comment on this and just to be immersed in the experience, that's why we play the game.
Who do you like? Who do you like, John?
Out of the three players,
well, you've got
currently in,
Stevie at the table. I know we can't see the table that well, but Steve's obviously at the table and possibly in control of the frame.
I would agree with that. And yeah, I would certainly agree with that. And I mean, somebody asked me for one player whom I thought was going to win it, and I actually said Healy, just because of the way he's just his focus and his ability to execute has been incredibly good. He won the pre-tournament just on that alone, and he's followed that through this tournament very well. Now, obviously it's a different kettle of fish being here as opposed to the pre-tournament or the peers, but to be able to still be in this position at this stage of the game and beating the defending champion Adam as well in the last 16, I mean, that kind of pushes you towards the top of the list.
That's right, mate. 5-4, I think it was, about a massive finish to knock out the defending champ. And if you look at Healy, you know, there's very few players in the New Zealand scene that could say this, that Healy was finalist, in Manurewa just before COVID. He lost the final to Matt McInnes. And then the following two nationals, he was in the semi-final. I believe he lost to Coetzee, and then the last year he lost in the semi to Adam. So in the last three New Zealand championships, with fields of over 250 players, Healy's got to the final and two semi-finals. I mean, it's absolutely unheard of, and it just shows the class of the man. And to be here fourth in a row, you know, in the running for the title again, it's just phenomenal. So it's hard to see what Steve's on here.
He's only got one ball in the black to play here. I think the 9 on the right hand side of the table, the one that's...
Yeah, I think it's only 2 balls.
I think he's just got the 9 and the 8 to play here, so he's queuing up the 9 now.
If he's just got this 9, it's basically a formality here for the black, but he's screwing it around, so maybe not.
Nope.
He's just off angle, but
He's on the 8.
it looks
Oh,
pretty
yes,
good.
yeah, he's swung around for the 8, so this is for the match, so good finish here from Steve. And it looks like it's is it gone? Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
Now, like I said, I just want to point out that good, well on Steve Denton. You know, take nothing away from Steve, but Healy, 4 national tournaments, John. That's arguably the best 4 finishes in the history of clubs New Zealand singles, with a runner-up and 3 semi-final placings. I don't think anyone would have gone close. Maybe Coetzee, who won back-to-back nationals and was runner-up going for the three-peat. You know, but what an effort from Healy.
I don't actually think he won 2 in a row. I know he's won 4, but I don't think he ever won 2 in a row.
Well, he
I mean, John's going to go and...
Yeah, look at that. But he certainly did well.
Stat archive.
Anyway, regardless, we're in for an absolute treat of a final. We've got Steve Denton versus Simon Singleton in the final. Don't turn off your monitors. Probably about a 10-minute break, and we'll be back live with a better view on the main table of things that are going on. Looking forward to it, Johnny.
Yeah, so am I. Harry Denton is Steve's son, so he's watching with even more interest now that his dad is in the final. He did win this tournament in 2016. I'm talking about Steve. Simon has also won this. So
yep, Steve played very well when he won it in Manurewa. Beat Steve Wild in the final that year.
That was 2016, wasn't it? You're talking about Steve here, right?
Yeah, Steve Denton was 2016.
16,
16,
yeah.
yep. But that was a massive field as well up in Manurewa that year.
Yeah, I didn't go to that, unfortunately, but yeah,
I believe-
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I believe Steve Wild beat Kerry Wirtz in one semi, and Steve Denton possibly beat. Oh, I'm clutching at straws.
Missed absolutely everything there. That's terrible.
And we'll be right back.
Save the pizza.
I tried to save it and I actually made it worse.
Coatsy 1, 8 and 9.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
It doesn't matter how hard the job is, we suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.
Get the 2023 Quarterfinal Championship final underway. Let's welcome to table 17, the Suck It Up by Freeman table. From Cashmere Club, Simon Singleton. And from the Hawaii Club, the Denton. Your referee is Ronnie. And you claim a race 5.
Okay, so here we go once again. Let's do the big dance. Brett DeFari again sitting next to me for this final.
Absolute pleasure, John, to be number 2 commentator aside number 1 commentator for Clubs New Zealand pool, and massive congratulations to Simon and Steve for, I think, in the biggest field ever in Clubs New Zealand singles history.
Yeah, 300 in the field for the singles.
Just to get this far, but straight into the action. Stevie, well, jeepers, it's connect the dots here, John. It could be 1-0 in a blink of an eye.
Oh, very much so. Simon broke and went in off the breaks, so one against the serve here. If Stevie can manage it, will be massive in the context.
Yeah, I think regardless of whether the 13 passes to the bottom right corner as we look is irrelevant, because you just stop this 10 in the middle or run it through however you like, play the 13 back behind the 5. I mean, the options are endless here. It's just a matter if he can... it's just bread and butter really for a player at this.
Road,
Yeah, it is, mate. It is.
It is, Terry, and that's exactly what you sign on for. I mean, both of these players have won this event before. Both of these players are playing some sublime pool today. So it's just going to be the player who takes their chances best, who clears.
Yeah.
If you ever get any nasty, horrible frames, like you might get one of them, the player who's able to stay patient and make the right shots.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not taking the 15 here first, John. I really am surprised on this. I know he's done okay. What I say is, the reason why I say that is because the 15 was so much easier to get on the other ball, but it would have left him a longer black. The way he's played it so confidently means he's going to be on a lot easier black now. So, look at this. Look at the angle he's been able to create.
Yeah, and look at all the table that he had. He's running towards the black and not across for position. It's something that Simon himself has said that he doesn't want to be doing when he's playing.
He just increased the difficulty of the shot a little bit, but obviously made his black a lot easier. So anyway, well done, Steve. And one frame, like I said, very quick. Just the way the balls were off that break, and like I said, you get to the stage of the tournament and regardless of who's at the table, that 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 11 at this stage, they're going to put those away.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, they've obviously had to do so throughout the day. So that little bit of muscle memory kicks in, and then you feel that little bit of extra euphoria from having won a frame like that, especially against the serve. I mean, Stevie gets to break this one, so if he can get this right and get a ball off the break, get a good split, and we could be very quickly looking at 2-0 here. Also of interest is the fact that he's using the shark rack, so it's something that's dear to your heart.
Yeah, we touched on this, on the podcast. That look how quick the balls were racked. You've got two guys playing a national final; they're going to be nervous, and there's no static on the triangle, no mucking around. So, and look at that.
He's absolutely destroyed that. That's our
but look, it's gone.
Violence.
It's gone now, isn't it? So like I said, it just makes the because we used to play, John. You'll remember 4 or 5 years ago, the referees were racking the balls in the final.
Yeah, and the players never did rack their own balls because.
Well, a couple of reasons. Nerves is one, and the other reason is, you're just kind of leaving it in a neutral hand. But the shark rack just takes that out of the equation. So anyway, let's not focus about that, mate. Steve is odds on here again to run out. I feel 6 back. Get rid of that 3, John, or how are you seeing this?
Yeah, I think 6-3, and the reason why is because you've got all the rest of your work.
Oh, a little bit shorter pace there.
I think he might have hit the jaw, or the fatter part of the jaw, and that could well have killed his speed, and also killed his direction too. He back more towards the middle of the table as opposed to going towards the 3s, so that's gone and made this angle more difficult. So
he should be fine because he's got 2 rails out between the 4 and the 15. Or however he wants to play this, to get back on basically 2 of those balls from a set, but come with a little bit more of a shot. Or he's come inside the 15. He's okay. Like I said, he could have swung in between the gap. He's okay.
I mean, what are you looking at here? You might want to, if you're going to go to 7 here, then you could go either to the left of the 15 as we see it, or to the right of the 15 as we see it. If we go to the right, i.e. basically down the centre line of the table, then, I mean, you're looking more for the 4, and if you overrun it, then you've got 2. But if you're going the other way, then if you're going the other way,
he's playing left-hand side, John. He's going to swing around that gap now, in between the 15 and the 4. Has he hit it well? That's the gap that I was talking about.
He's hit it beautifully.
Yeah, he's okay.
And he's on the 2 as well.
Yeah, like I said, that was the shot that I was thinking of earlier, and he could have been on this with that other ball still hanging over the middle right-hand bag as we look, but he'll be happy with that, mate, because if he plays this one well, should just be 4 back for the black on the right-hand middle. Let's have a look how he plays it. Yep, about
Bang
perfect. On. So he's just basically straight in. He's screwing back, just high the black spot for a gift, really, to back to the right-hand middle.
Yeah, and this again is where your muscle memory kicks in for a screw back. Make sure you get into it, stroke it,
he's overhit it a little, but he's going to be queuing off the rail. But again, he's played in the pocket that we talked about, but he just overhit it by about 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, no, that could be quite big in this game. We were talking about millimetres, but even missing your pos by that far, even though this should be in, it's a little bit of extra pressure you don't need. Let's see how he adjusts. Yeah, no problems.
Yeah,
just
great
like
black.
he's done it all his life.
And if you look, I know it's irrelevant, but you look at where the cue ball was, it's just a kind of a sign of a good shot, because the cue ball was almost dead on the bottom rail. If, on the off chance he'd missed, Simon was going to have to come with a very big shot just to open his account there.
Yeah, it's one thing that you get taught as well. I mean, it's one thing I was taught when I was coming up through the game, is especially on the black, if it's below a certain percentage chance that you're going to pot it, play it so that you leave the cue ball as safe as you can. Don't do anything dumb with it, but just be wary of where your cue ball's tracking, and if you can leave them a hard shot if you miss, you might want to frame that way.
Yeah, and I don't think he was ever thinking about missing, but it just shows the confidence in the stroke because of the fact he was queuing.
Oh, he's done it again!
He was queuing off the rail, and not only has he put the black in the hole, John, but he's put it in with confidence to the point where he drove the cue ball back down to that bottom rail. So it was just more about the confidence of the stroke rather than the leave. Anyway, Simon with a second in off in 3 frames.
He did it in his first frame,
Yeah.
and again he's handed the table back to Steve with what looks like a lovely looking set here. Again, you're connecting the dots with these. Might be a little bit tougher, but you'd have to think overs.
Oh,
I mean,
100%,
you have
John.
to think overs.
100%, yeah. Look, the 12 obviously and the 9 are your balls that you look at the table and you say, well, those are the 2 I want to get rid of. But play the 11 first, get yourself up in an area more than likely to, if he plays this well, to get on the 15, go 15-9. You can go a variety of routes, but let's just see how Steve looks at this. This is the key kind of ball to open the rack up here. So he's played up for the 15. He's just overhit it.
Well, it's a bit much, but
He definitely played for the 15 though. That was
he
a
wanted
key
to be
ball.
high on it rather than low. He's ended
Yep.
up low on it, so it's a bit harder for position on the 9, isn't it?
Yep.
What you were a bit afraid of.
Yeah, I think you'll find, unless he's on the 15, which if he's straight in on it is absolutely fine, or he's fine.
It's pretty much straight.
Yeah, if this is on, this is 15 to the 9. Yep. So, like I said,
crisis averted.
yeah, 100%. So now the ball is the 10. I think you'll find that he will probably go, he's just thinking about it now, do I go 9, 13, 10, 12? Or do I go
play the full confidence route and go 9, 12, 13, 10? Go
yeah.
for the big circle.
No, not 9, 12. You go 9, 10, and then you go 13. You play the 12 down the top left as we look, and finish with the black in the corner. Take your medicine and play the 12 up the table as we look. So we'll just have a look, see how he goes. Yeah, I think he's doing that, mate. He's going to take the 10 to the
next.
corner and go 13 and not try and be tricky. Just play the 13 in this corner as we look bottom left. Well, he could play for the double.
He could too.
But
I mean, he's
in reality, I think you'll find that he will get on himself a shot on that 12 to the top left pocket as we look, and it goes in, he's on the black, and that's all she wrote. So,
sweet. I mean, he did say to me before that he's not a big fan of doubles in terms of the actual shot. So
he's on it.
I mean, if he wants to leave himself one, if he's feeling it, then he potted a really good one earlier.
Nah.
And as you recall, I mean, I don't know whether you
I don't
know
like-
this, but
I don't like this.
the last 64 against Mitch Gourlay, he was 3
3-0.
each, and I think he had 7 balls to clear to win the frame, and he had to start with a double.
Has he got it? Has he got it? He's missed it. He's gone for a two-way. He's got
a
it.
triple.
Oh, my
He's
goodness
held
me.
his hand up.
Yep, but again, John, like he's almost played the two-way shot there. He's actually trying to almost cannon the 13 in as well. So, yep, he's got a good rub, but he's also played a confident
He's
stroke.
kind of engineered that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's made it easier to happen.
A little bit short, but he should be fine. That match against Mitch, I believe he was 3-0 down.
3-0, 3-1 down. You are right. I mean, he certainly was staring down the barrel, and
that's a
pulls
sign
out
of
a big finish.
sign of a champion.
Yeah, pulls out the big finish at 3 each to win, and that started with a double. So I mean,
that was the last frames. He mentioned it to me after the game, because he said it basically. Mitch, it was a deciding frame. Mitch had cleared down to his black or last ball or whatever it may have been, and Steve said to me, "I hate doubles." But he said I had no choice, and I had to play the double, and obviously played the double, and then proceeded to clear. But that's what I was saying before around Healy's performance. That there's so many good players, and when you just get through these matches 4-3, 5-4, like Healy beat Adam 5-4 on a clearance, it's just so difficult, and that's why I was trying to really compliment Simon, because he's come through to a final again, and he hasn't got through a 4-3 or a 5-4. He's been quite.
He's just pretty much wiped everyone out, hasn't he? It's just been
and that's,
Simon
it's underrated, John, is what I'm saying. Like people have to appreciate how good that is, because even best of 9, there's so many good players that if you get over the line 5-1 or 5-0, it means you've been very, very good.
Yeah, and you've gone and stuck it straight up the other player too, and who on their day could do the same to you.
Look at that break from Steve. Oh goodness me, look at this. If he's
Got
on that
one.
2,
One.
Goodness. John, I tell you what, we could be looking at 4-0.
Oh, very much so.
Steve's got all the momentum.
The way everything's been going so far, and the fact that Steve's been able to pot successfully on 2 breaks, and Simon and his 2 has gone and off both times. I mean, I think when you look back at this, at least to this point, that's been the difference, because Simon's barely had a shot. Mm-hmm. Simon's been in his chair the whole time. He's had 2 breaks, and that's about it. And he'll always tell you that the break is one of the most important shots in the match.
Yep, we talked about it it's Plum.
On the 2.
I don't know if that's the route that he was taking, to be fair, but he'll take it. I think he was trying to play that 2 in the middle. Maybe it got into the 6 a little bit, but regardless, he's absolutely plumb on this ball to the corner. Simon and I spoke about it at Richmond last night before we come down for the North-South match, and he complimented me on my break, and I said, well, I put a bit of time into it, and because it's such a crucial shot, and it's an underrated shot, and as has been shown here, it could be the difference in a national title, essentially.
I mean, Simon could have easily had that chance, the 2 chances that Steve's had. I mean, Simon in off the break, if that ball stays up and he pots a ball, he's got that table to himself, and it could be 2 each.
Yep. Look, yeah, agree, and it's momentum as well, John, and Simon. I mean, we're a long way from finish. I know it's race to 5, and it could be 4-0 in a second, but Simon will be looking at that, no doubt, and saying that's 2 breaks that realistically it's a mistake. People go, oh, the break's luck. Simon will be absolutely critical that those were 2 mistakes, and it's a 4-frame swing. This is what it is.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you do. Yeah, against a great player as well, like Steve Denton, if you do break and don't get it right, then you will be punished almost every time. And Steve will be gaining confidence as he runs through the racks here, knowing that he's putting in more distance between himself and Simon here. And the fact that he's managed to make Simon look silly, even though Simon's not really done much wrong here. So this is for that Hill to 0 advantage.
Yeah, and again,
look,
I'm taking nothing away from Steve here, because he's been flawless, but the way the final's gone, it has literally been at his mercy. Yeah. He's broke twice, got a ball, and they've been plumb. Mm-hmm. Simon's broken on and off twice, and they've been plumb, and that's all you can do. Like I said, take nothing away from Steve, but there's 20 players sitting in the room that going, well, I could have done that if I'd had those 4 chances as well. But the difference is, and I'll highlight this again, you get to this stage. That is so difficult to get to this stage. And he's earned that opportunity.
I mean,
yes, they've been lollies, but he's here and he's put them away. So, he's 1 frame away from a 2nd national title, John.
Here we go. Can he get it right this time? Can he get it right this time? It's a plumb hit.
Has he got a ball?
I think he did. I'm just having a look. I'm counting.
Oh, I think it's dry.
I think he's gone dry.
Wow.
Would you believe that? Yeah, Steve's at the table. He's gone dry.
Well, this could be the shortest race, shortest Clubs New Zealand final in recent
Living
memory.
history.
Well, I don't know about before my time, but in 20 years, I've never seen something like this. And again, take nothing away from Steve. He's put them all away, and if he can put this away, it's just the exclamation mark on this final, because they are there, John. He's just got to choose his set, take his poison, and navigate the roadmap.
You reckon he might be taking a wee bit of time to pinch himself here?
No.
So how?
What do you like, John? I actually like smalls.
He's looking.
He's
at
going
bigs.
13.
He's looking big.
Yeah, it's maybe the 1 is the difficult ball here, but you pot this, and the 9's your only one you got to work on, really. He's got it. Oh, maybe he was looking to get on that 9 early to the middle.
But he hasn't. But you know what though, as befits the occasion, he's still got some shots. It looks like possibly the 10 and the 12, or even the 15.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's odds on, but I mean the 9 is the ball now, and
Did he foul?
no, he's just asking the white to be cleaned.
For the white to be clean. Yeah, Ronnie Simons is your referee for the final.
And here you go. Here's a shout out to the referees. What a wonderful job they've done all week. It's a thankless task, and I thanked Cats earlier on after my quarterfinal, and there's a couple of them that they just do so much
Billy
work.
Stevenson
And Ronnie again, he's tireless, and people got to appreciate that. So I hope they get a good mention at the end of the night as well. Anyway, Stevie now he's going to cut this one in and try and avoid the 5 here.
Oh, that's the first mistake he's made.
It's possibly the commentator's curse, mate. I said he really did dig into that and avoid the 5, and he just ran straight into it, dead ball. It was just there. He just had to avoid that kiss.
Now, what have you got, Simon?
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll be feeling a bag of nerves, or will he be thinking, I was waiting for this. You've given it to me. Here we go.
Yeah, of course he'll be nervous, but I think at the same time, John, he'll be going, well, geez, yeah, good shot, played it off the 10. What I was going to say on Steve's clearance was the 9 possibly went up inside the 4 off the cush, so it was all plain sailing really for Steve. But this is connect the dots now for 4-1. Simon will be feeling a lot better once these go down.
I think there'll be a big exultation of some sort if this goes down.
Just a little bit of relief, but he's just what he would like to do is play the 4 last, but he's possibly not. He's trying to hold this so he can play the 6 to the 2. I can tell you that for free. And if he's dead straight in on this, he's going to have to play 2 to the black, and that's he'll be thinking about it. It should be fine, but in a perfect world,
should be fine.
In a perfect
should
world,
is the operational word.
He would have liked to have played 2 to the 4 to the black. It shouldn't be an issue. He'll go 4 to the 2. He's not trying to overcomplicate things, but at the same time, one mistake and it's tournament over. The whole final, is on this.
This is where that squeeze comes on, doesn't it? Because you know that you're one bad shot away from.
Yeah, and he's still got to come with a shot because the 9's got the black to the middle, so he's got to play this, nicely to come back up past the middle of the table for the black to the bottom right as we look, and I'm sure he will. Yep, look at that. Very nice, very nice. But it just, he's had to work. He's had to work.
Look out for Simon.
He'll be going bang, and he'll be going, I'm alive.
Look out for Simon Singleton. The postman isn't done yet.
No, that's right. Arguably the greatest player of our era now, playing the game at the moment. He's what did he clean up this year, John? The North Island singles, the South Island singles. He was runner-up in the Nationals last year, and he's in the final again.
So this dude knows how to get here, and he knows how to play in these situations. I don't think I can remember the last time he was ever hill to nil though in any game. So to be this far behind is new to him. So he's almost going to have to rewrite his own history books here. I would have loved
race to 7. Yeah, well, it would have been great,
to be honest. I think the executive decision was made for this final to be a race to 5. I know in recent history the players have had the option
yeah,
as to what they're racing to, but I think the decision was made by control to
That's
make
right.
this a race to 5, which is a bit of a shame. But hey,
What-
they've done an amazing job all week.
That's right, mate.
At least give them this.
What are we time-wise? Where are we at? 7:30. Look, I maybe you could argue the quarters could have gone race to 6, and the semis could have gone race to 6, and then it'd be an hour or so later, and we're playing the final race to 7. But at the end of the day, I think that again, as we watch the break, he's got a ball.
Here we go.
The
Time to reprise
national final is on the line right here for Stevie Denton. You could argue that yes, we could have been playing race to 7, but Murray Davies and the Cashmere Club, what a brilliant tournament again. So forget about that. Let's just hats off to them and the team, and let's just see if Stevie can get over the line in this frame here, and worry about the ifs and buts later.
So Alan Timu's from New Brighton, and quite clearly he's behind Stevie Denton. He'll be an incredibly popular man here at Cashmere. He used to play at Cashmere, played for Cashmere Silver when they actually existed in our competition, but then he's moved to Hornby after that. But he's one of the true gentlemen in this game.
Yeah, he's underhit that a little bit, but he might just opt for the 6 here. He was really trying to punch back across and get on the 7, run the 7 up, and have his choice of 4 or 3 for the run out. What you got to remember too, John, is and Mick Hill, when I met him in New Plymouth, Mick Hill knows Steve Denton. He's played with Steve Denton. That's the kind of calibre of player this guy is.
When he lived in England, right?
Yeah, and so when you talk about Mick Hill, and then you say, oh, well, Steve Denton is been and around that sort of calibre player, and he's got the respect of a guy like Mick Hill. He's an absolute top killer. Commentators' curses are.
Bit lucky to leave.
He was, yeah. So he knows how to play the game, and Simon likewise. He's played against the top players in the world, and okay, we've got 2 English guys playing in the final, but they've applied their trade, they work hard, and they're good mates as well. Look, Simon's staying at Steve's place this week for the tournament.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there'll be win, lose, or whatever comes. There'll be a lot to talk about.
Well, they won't be thinking about it now, but believe me, whatever happens, there'll be some conversation about it. So they don't want to give nothing up. So Simon's opted for the long. That's fine. I don't think Steve's got a route on this 4 unless he plays it off the edge of the 6, and then you're asking for trouble, because if it goes in, you're going to have 3 balls up the top rail. Not a lot happening. So. I mean, he could play it as to try and cover the pocket, but it's a tough ask from down there.
That's incredibly difficult from where he is.
Yep.
You've got the whole diagonal of the table to play as for distance.
I just get a feeling there's plenty more of this final to go, John. I know Stevie's on the hill, but 1 frame can be a long way. He's tried to play it. What has he done? He's opened it all up.
Oh dear. I mean, Simon Singleton. You've got to think that's exactly what he was looking for, though. When he played that shot, he was thinking, "Come on, just please muck it up by just a tiny bit, because that's all I need."
Yeah, well, it's the reason. I'm just going to see what Simon plays here. It's a big shot, because if this 13 passes the 7, which obviously it does, because Simon's played straight back for it, which it does. He just runs this in, moves the 6 to the head rail, 9. I mean,
then everything else opens up, right?
But again, Steve had to come with a shot. He's playing down table. Interesting. He's going to go 10-11. Bit of pressure on this one. Don't want to miss this. No, he's nice. Yeah. It was a big shot, and Stevie's probably he's going to come to the table now, even then on that shot, I think, and he's going to go, I'm going to play a shot that's going to win me the title, and if it's a safety or a pot, he's going to put his.
Going to hang his hat on it.
He's going to hang his hat on it. And okay, it hasn't worked this frame, but I guarantee you that the next frame and the next frame, when he comes to the table, he'll be doing the same thing. And that's the attitude to take, because you've only got to win 1 frame, and he's the New Zealand champ again. I'm not saying he's been reckless by any stretch. I'm just saying that he's going to put everything into it and dedicate himself to that shot.
Well, it's worked for him so well so far, so why change? That's the other thing. I mean, the one time out of maybe 3 that it doesn't take away from the 2 times it does work. And as you said before, he only needs it to work one more time.
That's right.
And he's the champion.
And again, I'm not going to say that he's going to go for a stupid shot, but realistically, shot Simon, they punched that well. Realistically, he's got what you would argue is a bit of a free license now. You're not going to, like I said, it's not going to be reckless, but he is going to go, hey, one good shot and I'm home, and he'll be thinking about that. But anyway. Like I said, Simon just dropped this in, and he's out for the black, and it's 4-2. It's Simon's break, so he's had they had those dry breaks. Maybe is it Simon's turn to execute the break, which come right out there. Lovely shot there.
And would you believe it's his break? So I mean, 0 out of 3 for the break. Let's see if he can fix that right now. 4-2. Steve Denton over Simon Singleton, but the Postman's still got a few in his bag, you think?
I do, John. I feel like this frame is just so crucial, because if it goes 4-3, and okay, it's Steve's break. If it goes 4-3,
It's Simon's break.
Yeah, no. If it goes 4-3, it would be Steve's break.
Frame will be.
But then suddenly you're at the table, and you think about it was 4-1 8 minutes ago.
I was 4-0 up.
4-0, exactly, and then you go, I've got to get a ball off the break, So anyway, let's focus on this frame, but I think there's a bit of this final left to be played. Here we go. He's cued it nice. Cue ball dry.
He's not done it again.
Is he dry? 1, 2.
Well, Stevie's hunting the table. Yeah, he's broken dry again. That's the 4th time he's not made anything off the break.
I've got to be honest, John. I think he kind of hit that a little bit conservatively. He maybe thinking about the in-offs, but he kind of just didn't really drive into it like he could have.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go into it with any real
conviction.
Did
That's
he?
right, mate. Yeah.
Which is something that you generally want to be doing anyway. Even if your break hasn't been working, you still got to attack it full force. Right, whichever way you break, whether you do a cut break, whether you do a straight break like that, you've got to be 100% into it and committed. It's the same with every shot that you play. I mean, the break's so important.
That's right. Stevie, to establish bigs, he's playing the 13 or 14. 14 rather.
14.
Yeah, big shot. Most people look at that shot and go, don't take the 5 to the middle. Well, the 2 is the ball that is going to cause you a lot of grief there. So he opted for the more difficult shot, but the right shot to establish bigs. And now he has the table and the New Zealand title at his mercy, John.
Correct, you are. And also the other thing too is that, yeah, the 5's easy and you establish a set more easily, but you've been doing it. He's made the black, but safe, okay. Let's see how this develops. But the other thing too is that he's been doing this sort of thing all day, and that's generally how you win frames. I mean, you've got to make the big baller moves, and sometimes that means playing a harder shot to get on the better set, and that's how you make finishes, and you start to build your own. You build your own base up going through a tournament doing that.
So a lot of people go 9 to the 12 here, but I think he is going to go 9 to the 12. But 12 wasn't a bad ball for the black, given that he's just kind of pushed it onto that right-hand middle as we look only.
True. And I see Simon, he'll be looking at that thinking, maybe I could get a break here.
Well, the 12's a good ball to the black, but now it means that he obviously wants to get rid of the 12, but it does mean that his ball to the black has got to be the 10. It should be fine. He should be able to just skid this out off one rail. Possibly look to play the 13s at the left-hand middle, 15 to the top right as we look, 10 for the black. But let's just see what he's thinking. At the 13 actually becomes a little bit of a, like that's the ball he's got to get on. Maybe he plays this one rail out and plays the 13 in the right middle and has his choice.
15, 10 and then the black.
That's right. So let's just see. Look, he's stretching, he's bridging. There's a big shot here for the title. Can he do it? He's played it confidently, overhit it possibly. He should be okay. See what I mean here, John?
He's on the 10 and the 13, but
it's the
both
13.
of them are the wrong way around, and you're almost forcing yourself into the 10 next, aren't you, if you play the 13, which would ideally be your ball for the black, as you said. So he's going to have to do this almost the wrong way round now.
He's 13 all day here.
Oh, he has to be, because you've got to keep this going.
But you
It's
don't-
not
you-
straight enough to get the black out either.
You don't really want... He might. Nah. You don't... I don't like this. I'm sorry. I mean, yes...
I know.
He's
what
got to
you
come.
mean,
He's got to come
definitely.
with a shot now. 15 to the black, and yep, you still back him. You know, get on this 15 nice screw back up table, but it means that he can't get close to his work as he would have liked playing the 10 last for the black. It means that he's going to be basically playing this screwing up into an area and giving him the black. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Like, he's going to get a bit of distance from the black, and he's just playing into an area. The black's going to be a lot tougher, but he'll have a shot at the shot at the glory here. He'll screw back up.
Adam Laputi has just given us another option, playing the 8 off the 6.
Nah,
No.
no way.
Oh,
Yeah,
At
it's
what
not. It's
price?
not Friday night lights, mate. It is the New Zealand final. He's coming back up. I'll tell you what. It's not bad.
This is not an easy shot on this table, and it has not been all weekend. The way that this table is snapped strongly into the near jaw.
I still back him to make this. If he'd underhit that by 4 inches, he would have doubled it, which he would have hated. But I still back him to drop this in the side. Here we go for the title, John. Can he do it? It's wide. Oh, it's there! Wow!
Sucked it in.
Wow, the bucket takes it, and that is it. Stevie Denton is your CNZ 2023 National Singles Champion.
So 2016 Manurewa meets 2023 Cashmere.
Well done, Steve. You can go have some hay and a carrot now.
You can get yourself a beer, my son. You've earned it.
Jeez, who had him in the Calcutta?
This guy, that guy.
Who? Yeah. Well done, Steve Denton. Commiserations to Simon. What you have to point out again here is, bridesmaid 2 years in a row. What an effort from Simon. Commiserations. He works very, very hard at the game. He plays a lot of disciplines, accused sports, and he loves this game. He loves CNZ. He loves this, and he'll be gutted. But hold your head up high, mate. You've proved in two big fields. He will be. But, two finals in a row and coming runner-up, it's hard, but you just showed your class. And Stevie, yep, he had a good draw, but you still got to put away everyone who's put in front of you. And well done, Steve Denton, the new champion. Johnny, just a massive thanks to the sponsors, obviously OnQ Streaming. We've got Fast Order Glass, Liquorland, Wairaki Road, Bowie Services, Giannis Pitterbreads, Rob Down Harcourts, Pete's Painting, Christchurch Accountancy, OnQ, Express Electric, Mag and Turbo, Express Towing, Angus Meat, Suck It Up, of course, Liquorland, Anderton Decorating, DJ Purdon Builders, Pete's Painting, I think I've got them already, Asahi Beverages, Gaming Machine Distributors, Cashmere Club, Smoke and Barrel Line, Nathan, and the Cashmere Club.
It's again well read out there, Brett.
Thank you, Johnny. Pleasure, mate.
And also just... Yeah, thank you very much, Brett. And just while you're here, I'd also like to thank each and every single person who has travelled from far and wide to be here. People coming from Auckland, people coming from New Plymouth, people coming from Tauranga. Everybody who's made an effort to travel, to take time off work, to do whatever you have to do to be here for this entire week of pool, thank you all so very much. We don't get a great tournament without players, without supporters, and also without the people watching on stream. You guys are all legends as well.
How many viewers there? Look at that, 200 viewers. So
something like 250 viewers.
Hey, you guys make this, and all the people watching live in the club as well. There's 100 downstairs and more out the back watching on the TV monitors as well. Massive ups again to the Cashmere Club, Murray and his team. It's a hard task. It's a thankless task running a nationals, and no matter where you go, John, you've played long enough, as you know, no matter where you go, what you do, there's always criticism, there's always behind the door talks and everything else. Cashmere do it as good as any, if not better than any other club in New Zealand. So like I said, massive ups to Murray and his team, and hopefully Rod and the Manurewa team can do the same next year.
They've got a hard act to follow, and I think Manurewa actually ran a very good tournament in 2019. But what I'd also love to thank the kitchen staff and the bar staff as well. They've been excellent all week. I mean, they've worked their asses off all weekend and all week to ensure that the players are fed, the players are watered, and done it with a smile, done it with gratitude. And I mean, they must have taken so much money behind the bar and in the kitchen, because the food here has been very good.
Been on point, yep.
And also, the service has been incredibly good too. So you don't get players coming back to play in tournaments at a certain place if they don't get good service where they are, and they've definitely had it here. So there will be fond memories of this place from pretty much everyone who's been here, I would say.
Yeah, that's right, mate. And look, I'm just going to sign off, but I know I just jumped in on for the final, but massive thanks to the voice, John Saundercock. He is the number one commentator of Q Sports in New Zealand. He, again, does so much for the game, comes in to commentate, you know, even when he's not playing, travels, puts it on for you guys. His knowledge of the game and understanding of the players and everything else is second to none. So hats off to you, John. Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to commentate the final with you, my mate.
Oh, it was a pleasure to have you here too. I mean, you're an absolute legend yourself. I mean, you and Jimmy Henry made probably the OG team in 2015, didn't you? When the first time that any of this was streamed or made available for the commentary, like you and Jimmy did the final, and you did an absolutely amazing job of it. So it's great to actually have you back to reprise the role as co-commentator for a final. So they're into prize giving, but from myself, John the Voice Saundercock, thank you all so very much, and we cannot wait for Manurewa 2024. Bring it on.
Excellent, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers, John.
We suck it up and get it done. No matter how dirty our hands have to get, we suck it up and get it done. Suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. Out for suck's sake, suck it up.
Suck it up and get it done with suckitup.co.nz.